All righty. What is going on, fellas? We are back. We got, 12 reviews in the hopper right now. As always, if you guys want to get your team reviewed, we will link that in the chat. It is linked in the description of this live stream. We're going to be going through and breaking down some team reviews here. We got, 4 or 5 DD 2.0s, and then the rest of them live Dynasty Decisions and whatnot. For those of you guys that are wondering, I haven't heard anything from the Listener League. I figured because we were going live here, we would just wait until after the live stream in case there's any last minute tricklers who want to get into the Listener League. I think there's about 45 or so submissions for people to join. So if you're wondering, what are my odds or whatever? I mean, if you're an annual mother flocker and there's only that many people that have submitted, you got pretty decent odds to actually get into the league. So we'll give you one last chance to get in the league. That is linked in the chat here, and it's also linked in the description as well.
So question, are we going to give them today, or are we going to give them till the stream is done and then do it?
I was going to say you and I could just do it as soon as the stream is over.
Okay. So you guys are hearing that right now, probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Like from then on, if you want to be in the league, get your submission in. Don't be submitting it like 20 minutes after the live stream and saying, I wonder if my submission got it. No. Do it now. Be proactive now, because I don't want you guys to feel like you got left out.
Absolutely. All righty. So for some reason, my Twitter is being stupid as fuck. But
really?
Yeah.
My Discord was doing that yesterday. I don't know. Fucking these apps now.
These apps all suck. Henry says smash the like. We appreciate you, Henry, in the chat. Let's roll through as we usually do. Let's roll through the trade questions first, and then we will go through the actual team reviews. We got Mikey Erb in the chat here. Bijan Robinson in exchange for CeeDee Lamb, Jadarian Price. It says you slightly lose. Even according to my rankings, the Bijan Robinson truther. I think it's a relatively fair trade, regardless. Like
I think it's reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously would prefer Bijan. I think Bijan's got the much higher ceiling from a redraft perspective, and he's younger and that kind of thing. But if you're looking for a receiver, I think this is probably fair.
The way I kind of look at it, I think you pretty much echoed it. Is Bijan and Gibbs are going to be top 1, top 2 overall picks this upcoming year. They're probably going to be 22 to 27 point per game projections. Is that unreasonable to say, Corey? 22 to 27 point per game projections. So then when you look at Lamb, you're probably like, okay, you're probably more in the 18 to 22 point per game projection. So at that point, it's like, would you be willing to pay a Price who's a mid-first round pick to get that extra point equity and to get 3 years younger there?
Yeah.
I think it's reasonable.
Yeah, it's reasonable. I think if I were to have to pull the trigger on something like this, I'd be okay doing, because he is receiving the Bijan side of things. Yeah. And I generally would be very much fine.
10-team league.
I think this for Bijan, especially like you said, in a 10-team league, Bijan's, top 2 player in redraft. CD, as good as CD is, I do think there's going to be roughly a 2 to 3 to 4, maybe point per game difference between him and Bijan in redraft. And also Bijan is 24 versus 27.
Yeah, no, I think that's an easy way to put it. And it's another thing too, if you're in a dynasty startup, how much would it cost to move up from the early second to the mid first? I would say probably about a 5th round, 6th round startup pick, which is where Jadarian Price is. Yeah. And maybe there's some kind of like it says you slightly lose. Maybe there's some kind of scoring setting that I'm not aware of that he has linked to his league, that maybe there's like a point per carry or like some kind of bonus for something, and that's what's affecting it. But I would prefer Bijan, I'd say, like slightly in a vacuum over the other side. I actually do remember Mikey's review. I can pull it up on the side here, because he said from a week ago, sold some picks to get Genty. I believe I mentioned that on his thing. Let me take a look. Dynasty Decisions 2.0. And I clicked Rankings Manifesto by accident. Decisions 2.0. Mikey.
Okay, here, I'll start this question while you pull it up, and we'll get back to it. Travis Etienne in exchange for Omar Cooper and a mid to late second. I would probably only want to pay like the 110 give or take for Etienne, which is where Omar Cooper Jr. is going in rookie drafts right now. 109, 110.
This feels expensive.
It does. It feels a little expensive to me.
Yeah. And also this is so it looks like he said he traded for Genty, and that was one of the points that we made here. By the way, all of them are posted in this drive so we can keep tabs on them. But in Mikey's proposal, one of the decisions was the Ash and Genty trade proposal, which we said if you can give up, a future first of equity plus Drake London, you can get Genty plus a future 2. You get your running back point equity, and obviously, given his starting lineup now, he's got a ferocious team for sure. So Yeah, no, love that for you, Mikey.
Yeah, no, definitely makes a lot of sense there. I would roll with the Cooper in the mid to late second personally. I think it's a little expensive for ETN. If I was going to pay that package specifically, I would probably want mid to late second and Omar Cooper. I think I'd probably be wanting Kyron at the very least, if not higher than that.
Yeah.
like probably like
Maybe,
Brees Hall.
yeah, if you can get that, that would be perfect. I tend to agree, and CD is going to make people look stupid. So I am perfectly content holding CD on my competitive teams. There's one team that I was trying to, yeah, I know. But there was one team that I drafted him out of the startup last year that I'm like, okay, ideally, if I can get some pick equity, get younger, like he would be the one piece that I'd be willing to move. And that is the only time I will say that about CD is like, oh, my team's not competing. I'm trying to get a top 2 pick. Let's see what's out there. Nobody wants to buy him. And I don't understand. I'm like, are you interested in CD? This is about what I'd be looking for. The response is, I'm lower on CD. George Pickens is there. I'm like, buddy, did you even watch how the season transpired? George Pickens was going off when CD was hurt. And when CD came back, he had a fucking ankle injury and dropped 4 touchdowns. Like, what are we talking about?
I do think if you have that opinion, you should be selling high on George Pickens.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't have him as a top 10 dynasty receiver. I have him 12 or 13.
Yeah, and I also think that generally you should probably be lower on him in redraft as well at the 2-3 turn. It's not that there's like a bunch of them, like, a million different great players to pick there, but I personally have, other number one receivers like a Collins or an AJ Brown or a Devontae.
I think that's reasonable
over him for that reason.
Oh, I think that's totally reasonable. I think Pickens is in that range. And part of it too is like, I'm also going to be lower on Ferguson because I do think a lot of his volume came when Lamb was off the field too. So I do think if both are humming and if Dak's healthy, both can be legitimate top 12 receivers. It's just when you're asking me straight up Lamb versus Pickens, people are trying to make it more of an ambiguous situation. It is very clear that Lamb is the one when he's healthy and Pickens is the 2. And people are kind of trading it otherwise.
Certain drop, LOL. Yeah, and they definitely can both be top 12. I just think that if you're paying for top 12 upside where Pickens is going, you're passing on receivers who have top 5 upside, like AJ Brown.
I think that's reasonable.
Even Devontae Smith and Nico Collins and stuff. I just believe that without a Lamb injury, he's probably capped somewhere between wide receiver 8 to 12.
Well, like that, baking that in a little bit, obviously, because if Lamb's out, he could be like a top 3 receiver. Number 1 receiver for a top 5 offense with a passing base. Like he could smash if Lamb's not on the field. It's just when they're both on the field, it's hard for me to see, like you said, anything more than mid to back end wide receiver 9 to 12 type of upside. Looking at my best ball rankings, I have him at 9, but he's really close with Collins, Neighbors, Brown, and Devontae Smith is at 13. I have him pushed up.
Yeah, like I'm fine taking him over Neighbors given the the uncertainty of the health right now, but I would other guys that you mentioned there, I would prefer to Pickens just because I view him and T Higgins are back to back in my rankings for the exact same reason. Is that in a great
I can't go that
they're
far,
both
though.
wide receiver 8 to 12 because of the starting receiver ahead of them on the depth chart.
I can't get that far having them back to back. Like I do think George Pickens is the better player at this point.
I mean, T Higgins had a better season in 2024 than Pickens.
You keep trying to push the narrative that they're in the same. They're not. Pickens is a better player than Higgins, bro.
Then why did T Higgins have
why
5 points per game in 2024?
Why was George Pickens a top 5 receiver and have 1,400 receiving yards? Like T Higgins hasn't had that. If T Higgins goes out and
time.
Sure, if Jamar Chase misses time,
I guarantee Higgins is better than what Pickens produced.
I completely disagree, but I guess we'll have to see.
Hopefully we don't, because I have a lot of Jamar bags, and I don't want Jamar.
I just traded for Jamar from you in a league, so hopefully not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think frankly, like if T Higgins is like a top 16, 18 receiver, George Pickens is very clearly top 10.
That's fine. Higgins also and if you wanted to factor that in, I think that's totally reasonable. If you're like, hey, Pickens is a little bit more durable, I think that's totally fair. I just think that Pickens and T, if I ranked receivers in the NFL, would be like quite literally back to back for me. And we have not yet seen T Higgins produce with like how many games did Lamb miss this year? 5 games or whatever.
George Pickens was arguably a top 5 receiver in football last year. I'm not going to hear that Pickens and Higgins are the same tier.
I can argue that T Higgins was like second team all pro caliber receiver in 2024. He was unbelievable in 2024.
Played like 11 games.
Yeah, and he scored 11 touchdowns.
Okay. I mean, that's also a product of the offense to a
this
degree
year
too.
Even despite missing
sure.
some time and being missing with Burrow and stuff.
I do Higgins and Devontae Smith very similarly. Like they're very, very good receivers.
If you gave
George Pickens to the tier after.
If I have a crystal ball, T. Higgins has 5 games without Jamar, and Joe Burrow played the whole season, I guarantee he has more fantasy points per game than George Pickens had last year.
Wait, what?
Yeah. If the run out that Pickens had last year, which is that Dak played the whole season and Lamb missed 5 games,
we've seen that from Higgins before.
No, we have not. Chase has not missed significant time with Burrow on the field.
Let me take a look at the game logs. So George Pickens last year, 17.2 points per game, top 6 wide receiver in fantasy.
Which is, again, worse than T. Higgins was in 2024, by the way. Less points per game.
I mean, he also played 17 games.
But he also had Jamar on the same field, dude. You yourself.
And Lamb was on the field too.
Most of his damage with Lamb off the field.
Sure. And again, Lamb was also on the field for how many? 70% of the games? Like, what are we doing here?
What are you talking about?
No, I'm saying like Lamb, even though he missed 5 games, he's still on the field for fucking 75% of the games, 70% of the games.
Okay. You know how many Chase was on the field for in 2024? 100% of the games.
So let's go look at the game logs that year. Let's go look at the game logs. What, 2024?
Dude, Jamar had 1,700 receiving yards and 17 touchdowns, and T. Higgins was a top 5 receiver in points per game. I don't want to hear this discussion.
I mean, I'm sure when you play 12 games and 3 of them combine for literally 40% of your seasonal production, it's going to happen.
Okay. Chase was a triple crown winner, and he did this.
Okay, but what I'm saying, Corey, is if you play 12 games and a third of your games
I get that.
are spikes, it's going to skew your points per game. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. The point per game looks high, but like it's a skewed number considering the fact that he had spike weeks. He's going to have spike weeks. I'm not arguing that, but 4 spike weeks in a 17-game stretch as opposed to 4 spike weeks in a 12-game stretch, it's going to skew your points per game.
You're right.
I mean, like it almost feels like we're on the
we have
like
no
I feel
sample, like 0.
Okay.
Of T with Chase off the field and Burrow healthy.
Corey, it almost feels like we're on the inverse right now because I always talk about the small sample sizes and you try to keep me like level-headed. I'm like on the inverse now where you're talking about the small sample size and I'm trying to keep it level-headed.
If we go on small sample sizes, George Pickens has been elite for 1 season. T. Higgins has been elite for 4
how many years has George Pickens been in Dallas? How many years has George Pickens played with a top 20 quarterback in football? Top 20. That's all I'm saying. Top 20.
Yeah.
Right?
T's a monster, man. T's a monster. I won't hear any disrespect.
I feel like the narrative on Pickens would also be
if Jamar went down for 5 games or whatever Lamb went down for last year, T. Higgins would be as good, if not better, than Pickens was.
How about this? Even playing field bet going into 2026. If Lamb and Chase are both on the field or both miss the same amount of games, we talk about the point per game equity between T. Higgins and George Pickens.
Sure.
You taking that?
Sounds good.
You guys remember this in chat. The 57 of you in here right now.
We're also going to take Michael Wilson versus Marvin. Someone mentioned that in the chat too, because Danny seems to think that Michael Wilson's going to have like 17 fantasy points per game next year.
So this stems off the fact we're about to go into the live stream, and he was working on the Cardinals projections, and I'm like, wait, so you have Marv projected for 6 more points per game than Michael Wilson?
Don't forget like 40 more targets.
That's outrageous to me. I'm like, you got to at least bake in the even playing field at some point.
I did, because in Michael Wilson's career, he's never even been that close to Marvin. So
you projected him for like 400 less yards than he had this year.
Yeah, because I don't expect Marvin to miss 7 games.
I don't know, man. I think at this point, like a young receiver that's playing a valuable role, you have to give him some type of credit.
I don't really like to value mid. I know AJ Barner and Michael Wilson get you going, but they don't get me going.
Michael Wilson's good, bro. I don't know why.
Michael Wilson was right place, right time. I don't want to hear anything
like
otherwise.
A top 5 receiver down the stretch. What are we talking about?
700 pass attempts a game or whatever the fucking Cardinals had is not going to happen again.
Yeah, but like you're giving all the credit to Marv without him proving it. But then when Michael Wilson actually proves it, you don't give him any credit. It's like, I don't understand. One player shows that he could be good and dominant for a sustainable period of time. Marv hasn't yet, and that you're giving him all the credit for the other guy.
Well, he's a young player going into you love natural progression as a player. That's your favorite take ever.
Michael Wilson's going into year 4. It's just funny to me because it's like Michael Wilson proven it. You don't give him any credit. Marvin hasn't proven it, but you're giving all the credit. Huh?
He had 5 good games. He has not proven shit.
Oh, he was dominant down the stretch, bro.
Yeah, with no Marvin.
He finished with 1,100 yards and 7 touchdowns as a third-year player. Bro, every you always talk about third-year breakout. Michael Wilson has 1,100 yards and 7 touchdowns as a third-year player, and you give him no credit at all.
Yeah, Josh is getting the best trade question.
Yeah, sorry,
at least Josh is a good. We'll stop this argument. We all know that it's all going to come down to what actually happens on the field. We've made our points at least 5 times each.
Okay. Also, Veach, how am I tripping? Michael Wilson was a top 5 receiver down the stretch. Like, what's tripping about that? I'm just stating.
I'm sorry. Where was Marvin during the stretch, Danny? Where was he? Was he on the field? I don't think he was.
Stay on the field and break out then. Why hasn't he?
Oh, okay. CD Lamb, dude. Stay on the field and break out, bro.
At least CD Lamb broke out when he was on the field. At least CD Lamb broke out when he was on the field. Marvin Harrison is just trying to collect what his dad was doing back in 20 years ago.
Walk out of here. All right.
That was semi-troll.
Kyle Manang guy for Marvin Harrison. Oh my God. I'm glad Marvin's in this question. So,
all right, Gappy, relax. We're joshing around.
Marvin in a first for Trevor Lawrence and Manang guy in a 2 quarterback league. I mean, Lawrence all day can hold a lot of value. I mean, it's about fair by my rankings. I think this is about fair. I would probably slightly prefer Harrison just because I believe in Harrison. I think he's going to gain a lot of value, and a mid first. To me, you're going to get a top quarterback in next year's class, most likely.
This is more just like I'm overly high on Trevor Lawrence. Like, I view him as a legitimate top 20 to top 24 startup asset. So for me, even though it's a probably good package, like I just want to be betting on Trevor Lawrence. I think he could legitimately be. He has an MVP year 2 in the Cone system, which is very well in the range of outcomes, by the way. I don't think a lot of people know, Corey. He was the quarterback 1 in points per game week 7 on last year. He averaged over 23 points per game.
Week 7 on is your favorite fucking.
Hey, you're going to talk about the Bugatti
time to look for, huh?
No,
Parker Washington must be wide receiver 8.
To be fair, right now. Okay. All jokes aside, to be fair, also Corey, to call him Veach a ball knower because he agrees with you on the FSC.
That's all right. Isn't that the hallmark for every fantasy analyst? You call someone a ball knower when they agree with you.
Yeah, but on the FSC account, it makes me look like a cock.
Yeah.
Oh. No, but what we're saying? Oh, week 7 on, I think is relevant because it was the first year of the system. So I do naturally baking in like they're going to look better mid-season on as opposed to the early season is valid. And I mean, you could have said it with the Bears offense. You could have said it with a lot of the first year offenses or in terms of play callers around the league. But it's just exciting because like Trevor Lawrence as a younger player, again, keep in mind, obviously we say younger player, he's 26 at that point. So like, is that really young? Let's debate. But younger player in the sense that we always have talked about the traits with Trevor Lawrence. It was just about when he would figure it out fully at the NFL level. And I could really tell that him and Liam Cohen truly mesh. So I'm excited, man. Like I'm going to be packing the bags on some Trevor Lawrence MVP futures. That's for
I'm quite bullish on Trevor Lawrence myself. This is a fair, like dead even trade to me. Like this is pretty dead even. It really depends what you need. If I look at Josh's team, maybe he has QBs to spare potentially. Like he has Lawrence is QB3. Like I'm fine doing it at that point. He's a bench player for you. Like the one thing I will say is I'd probably be more willing to sell Caleb or Drake for a legit needle mover instead of selling Lawrence for Harrison in a first. Like if you could sell Caleb or Drake for Gibbs or JSN or Puka or something like that, I would just rather do that personally.
I'm on the same page also. Yes, I would. 100%. I'm like honestly just getting him in a good offense was what I wanted to see from George Pickens, and it finally happened. And also like I understand this point, but also not giving Michael Wilson any credit for doing what he did to me is the issue. Like
he was dog shit as a player before, and now he's a solid player.
He wasn't dog shit. But again, he took the role. He was dominant in the role, and now they do have
points per game before Marvin got hurt for his career.
It doesn't matter. It was a third-year player. And how many times have we had to say, oh, third-year breakout, third-year? He fucking broke out as a third-year player. So no matter the circumstances, he deserves some credit for it. Is
he deserves some credit.
You don't give him any
9
credit.
What is it?
That is not credit. 700 yards and 5 touchdowns is not giving him credit.
9.21 fantasy points per game next year, 715 yards, 4 touchdowns. That's a great projection for a really average player.
Come on, man. Be real.
Anyways,
he had 1,107 as a third-year player.
You're right. Marvin hasn't been anything 400 yards, but I'm projecting him to take a step forward because playing X receiver is very difficult at the NFL level, and he's got some work to do. But I believe he'll make that work happen.
Yeah, you know who did make it happen was Michael Wilson.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Anyways, this trade Josh didn't help his cause by asking a Marvin Harrison question. Let's be perfectly clear here.
Also, again, this does not matter. All I'm saying is give him credit for producing down the stretch. You can talk about all the variables in the profile you want, but giving him zero credit to me is the issue. Like you can say I
projected for the second best season of his career, dude. That's a lot of credit.
You projected him for 6 points per game less than Marv.
Yeah. They also drafted a third overall pick running back. Like, I think the pass volume is going down tremendously.
Oh, no, I don't disagree in that aspect. But at the same time, like my biggest qualm is the 6 point discrepancy between him and Marv. That's the only thing.
Yeah. I make your own projections then. It's smart projections.
I might have to.
Anyways. All right. GYMRAT, first team review that we have here. I want to remind everyone that if you want a team review and you want us to not talk about Marvin Harrison or Michael Wilson for the rest of the time, I promise we will stop now that we're getting into the team reviews. If you want a team review, you can get a free one by signing up for an annual Mother Flocker package. You also get a free Dynasty Decisions 2.0 with that, as we've been breaking down here. You can see Tiv Madnesses as an example. We'll give you your 3 biggest decisions to make, some pivots, some tier downs from sells, buys, all that stuff, and then also an overall snapshot of your team. And we've been ripping through at least, I don't know, probably 20 to 25 of those so far that we've launched this product. So we really appreciate the support on that product so far. And I know you guys have definitely been a fan of it because we've gotten a lot of good feedback on it too.
Yeah, I think so far. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Like 19 reviews. I was able to get the last like 12 or so, 13 or so from the last stream. I was able to get those to you guys. So by the way, too, if you are Mikey, obviously you saw it. Guberman, I believe you responded, so that's good. You mentioned Tip Mattis. I'm sure he probably responded to you as well. More so Nathan, Talkuni, JK15, Seymour's, Leatherhead Craftsman, Sparker, Chef, Rick Flick, NoFX, and Jace Plant. If you haven't already responded to the DM on Flock, I did send that over to you guys.
Yeah, those have all been sent over, and those will always be sent in the Flock DMs there. So getting into GYMRAT here, he's got a live team review. Results from my startup Superflex Dynasty draft from May 17th. He said he picked at the 4 spot. Just looking for thoughts, opinions, brutal honesty about this team. He said would be fair to say the FSC influence was pretty strong as well. And he said appreciate all you guys do for the fantasy community. We bring together these Michael Wilson and Marvin Harrison Jr. debates so that, Skip Bayless doesn't have to. And all signs point to yes, he said. All right. So looking at, what is it? Skeletons, Evil Warriors. I mean, brutal honesty is that you've done a pretty good job. You're number 1 in the analyzer, which obviously is a good start. And you have a clear direction, in my opinion. I see a pretty young-looking team. I would say generally towards the side of maybe 1-year punt, just because you do have some young players like a Jeremiah Love, a Casey Concepcion, a Travis Hunter, who might be better in 2027 than they are in 2026. But I think out of a startup, this is a great-looking squad. Like, you have pillars at every position except for tight end, which I don't usually care about too much anyways. And between the guys that you have there, I think you can easily get by.
And at tight end, you're getting there in the aggregate. So
it's also not a tight end premium for what it's worth. So that helps a little bit too.
So question I ask here, when I'm looking at the team overall from an age demographic perspective, there's 2 guys specifically that maybe don't fit. I mean, I guess it's right out of a startup. I don't even mind not touching it for now.
Yeah. Like,
I don't know. What do you think?
Sorry, repeat what you
I just saw the strong rebuilder tag, but then I realized it's right out of a startup. So like, you don't really have to touch anything right now if you don't need to.
Yeah. I think this team can be competitive in year 1 and you reevaluate midseason. Like if Kyron Williams is popping off, but the rest of your team is not having a great season or whatever, you can always sell high on a Kyron Williams during the year. If T. Higgins and Olave are not playing well, they're dealing with injuries or whatever, you can always pivot off of those assets to somebody looking to buy low and whatnot. And Andy, if you subscribe today, we would get to your review on stream for sure.
Because he was asking, he took a year off from being a motherfucker. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're new to the site or if you were an existing, took some time off and came back. If you do get a annual membership today, you will get the free team review as well as the 2.0.
Yeah, and you get the 2.0 once a year when your annual renews as well. And as we've said before, too, any active site subscriber gets 30% off of purchasing a team review or purchasing a 2.0 if they want to get one a la carte at any other time, too, if you're in multiple leagues and you want us to break down more than one team or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, looking at this team, I think it's very well constructed. This is, to me, a wait-and-see approach. And I wouldn't go crazy here and go, oh, I'm going to sell my 27 first and my second for another receiver to go win now. Like, I think that this team is well situated, well set up to wait and see what's happening.
Yeah.
If you start out 4-2 and you're like, hey, my team scored the most points in the league, I'm 4-2, maybe I've had some unlucky breaks on some wins and losses. This guy's looking to get off of, Tyler Warren or something who's dealing with injury. I could sell my 1 for Tyler Warren. Or this guy's looking to get off of AJ Brown, who's off to a monster start for the Patriots, and I can get a real hammer at wide receiver. At that point, I'd be comfortable making a move, but it could also go the other direction. As I mentioned, your team's not really performing, but Chase Brown's having a league-winning season. Maybe you sell high on him. Your team's not performing, but Kyron Williams is, got 9 touchdowns in the first 7 games. Maybe you sell high on him.
So let's talk it through in this capacity, because I think this is the easiest way for me. If you get into this in season and you realize, hey, I can actually go for this. A guy like Drew Aller, maybe you can leverage into a quarterback 3 that's producing right here. Maybe, younger assets like if we go to, for example, here, you scrolled away. I don't know, even Concepcion for that matter. If you want to get like a more secure point producer, you can make that type of decision. Or on the inverse, you go early in the season. It's like, hey, maybe I'm not ready to compete this year. Maybe I'm more a 27 projection. Then at that point, who are the 4 names I'm going to say you could pretty much pivot from?
For a rebuild or for a
let's just say hypothetically he gets a week 6, he starts out 3-3 or 2-4, and he's like, I'm not going to be one of the best teams. Who can I pivot off of?
Yeah,
There's 4 names that stick out.
Kyron, DeAndre Swift, I think Rashad White as well probably would make some sense, and then Godwin, Higgins maybe.
Of the big names.
Olave, Higgins, Kyron, and Swift probably.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. I would.
Yeah, and then there's some spare parts guys. Jalen Warren's having a nice season. You could sell high on him. Rashad White's the starting running back for the Commanders at the beginning of the season. You could sell high on him. I really like the depth of this team.
Yeah.
I just worry about, hammers. You need some guys to emerge as hammers. Like if KC comes out, has a monster rookie season, he's going to be a stud alpha receiver for you. Then that would obviously bode well for you. But I also, let's say we get to the midseason portion and Olave's producing like 14 points a game or something like that. And you go, okay, Chris Olave is producing decent right now, but Malik Neighbors is about to come back from injury. And I'm going to trade Chris Olave plus my 27 first for Malik Neighbors plus another competitive asset. And maybe at that point, you're able to use one of your producing assets and tier up to something better. That would be kind of one of my main thought process of how to upgrade the hammers on this team. Because realistically, I'm nitpicking by saying this team needs work because it's in very good shape for a fresh out of a startup team. It's just, okay, maybe you want another hammer receiver. Maybe you want another hammer at tight end or whatever the case is. Looking for the opportunity to buy low on hammers would be my number 1 priority if I was, working with a team like this.
Yeah, no doubt. But overall, very, very good out of the startup. You're number 1 in terms of the analyzer. And at that point, even though it says strong rebuilder, keep in mind it is out of a startup. I do think that you have the opportunity to potentially, make that determination come, like I said, week 5, week 6, week 7, once you have more information around the league.
Yeah, it is number 9 in the contender ranking, so we don't want to get too crazy and say, oh, yeah, you're ready to win right away. But it is also underdogs factoring in 1 quarterback underdog rankings, not super flex underdog rankings. And Drake May and Trevor Lawrence are actually, I guess it probably is super flex rankings because I see Drake May's at 20 and Trevor Lawrence at 30. But either way, you got a really, really solid team to be coming fresh out of a startup. We can move on to Labtyn. I can't say that name. Lululemon Love. That's the team name. So we'll roll with that. There is a Thanos in this league. We should outline at the very top of this. There's a Thanos that has a very strong team. I wouldn't say it's a completely daunting Thanos immediately, but it is going to be one in a couple of years with all those picks.
Those picks, that quarterback equity already being number 1, number 2 at running back, receiver, and tight end. Like, that's a good team.
It's a very good looking squad. And Lululemon Love is down here all the way in purgatory, which, I mean, pretty straightforward from our perspective. You're in purgatory, and there's a Thanos in the league.
I got to address this. First of all, you are in purgatory. Where is your 27 first? Where is it?
I hope it's not on this guy's team, and it is.
What are we doing? Why?
To be fair, maybe he took this over as an orphan. Maybe. Okay. We don't know. I hope you didn't. He did say in the DMs, he said, I'm working on trading Lamar because I don't see contending with him possible until 2028. Okay, so this tells me you probably didn't take this over as an orphan because you think you can compete in 2028? You ain't close, brother. You ain't close. with this Thanos and your team, the way it's constructed, you are not a Lamar Jackson trade away from competing in 2028. You are probably 2 to 3 years away with a team like this, because this guy's team is an absolute hoss, an absolute wagon.
There is only one thing to do at this point. Corey, you go to that dominant Thanos fucking team. You say, hey, your quarterback 2 is your weakness right now. You have my first round pick. Give me Tyler Shuck, my first round pick, and another one of those 27 first. You can have Lamar Jackson. That is the only way to save this team.
Yeah, you are a long way from Kansas, my friend. You got Eli Heidenreich's your RB2 right now. Like, you are not competing in 2028. You are not close. So everybody worth a shit on this team is off my roster.
Corey's seething in his mouth just seeing Michael Wilson. It's like,
get Michael Wilson the fuck out of here, dude. Mike Evans, sell him. Matthew Golden, sell him. Jalen Coker, sell him. Michael Wilson, sell him. Like, if you really, really wanted to, and you're not getting the value appropriate for Mekhi Lemon and Jeremiah Love, I suppose you could hold those guys. But everybody else on this team, I would be selling, especially anybody with immediate production value. Deshaun Watson's the leader in the clubhouse for the Browns. Hell, you got Watson and Shedeur. Sell them both. Sell them. One guy needs a quarterback. Here's both Browns quarterbacks. You'll be able to use whichever one's starting. That's how you're selling people on this roster. Bro. Get as many players off this team as you can. Shoot for 2028 capital. Shoot for 2029 capital.
And don't be picky. Don't be like, oh, I got to get a perfect fucking deal. Like, obviously, like, for if you're going to sell Mekhi, if you're going to sell Jeremiah, if you're going to sell Lamar, yeah, you want to get full price for those guys. I'm not saying otherwise. But for the fringe players, like, if you're being, this feels like a late 2, a little bit too cheap, or a 3 too cheap on some, fucking sell them. You need Jeremiah Smith. You need Malachi Tony in 2028. You need a full-fledged 2-year at least program in order to get young talent. And that's also, like, I'm being generous when I say 2 years, because that's probably including, like, you would have to get multiple pick assets in this.
Yeah, and like, he said he offered the guy Lamar for Shuck and Trevor Lawrence or something like that. Is this guy who has Lawrence? Okay, either way, you aren't like he seems to be open to Trevor Lawrence and Parker Washington for Lamar. Like, you should not be acquiring players for Lamar Jackson. Let's be perfectly clear about that too.
Parker Washington does fucking what for you?
Yeah, about as much as Michael Wilson, pretty much. So for me, again, the very simple, straight to the point, God's honest truth here is that you are not close to competing anytime soon, because not only are you not going to compete with this guy who's the Thanos, you're not going to compete with this guy. You're not going to compete with this guy. You're not going to compete with this guy. Like, there's 5 strong contenders in this league, in addition, or 4 strong contenders in addition to a Thanos. So you are basically this. Oh,
you gave that guy your first, man. That was,
oh my God. This guy doesn't have his one either. Are you kidding me? This
Please tell me the first place doesn't have his one. Please tell me the first place doesn't have his one. Gambit. Nope.
No,
okay.
He doesn't.
Sort by picks, maybe, because it would probably be the number 2 team that has his one. Like this
yellow guy has it. This guy's team's going to be en route to a pretty strong contender as well. He's got 4 1s, including that Gambit guys. So yeah, I mean, look at it this way. This league, flush those 2 buy-ins the next 2 years down the toilet, because you are not getting them back. Like, if you try and force this and you go, well, what if Deshaun Watson and Shedeur are decent? What if Ray Davis becomes the starter for the, like, there's so much hopium for a team like this to even be remotely close to competing with that guy's team. So your only course of action is to sell everybody worth anything for draft capital. And again, if you're allowed to buy 2029 picks, go ahead and do that, because people are going to give them away like nothing. I've seen leagues, especially if they're more casual leagues, where people go, oh, 2029 isn't for 3 years. I'll sell my 2029 first for Michael Wilson and Jalen Coker because I need those pieces now or whatever. I've seen leagues like that. So if you can do that, go ahead and take advantage of it.
Hey, and if you guys are watching this right now and you're thinking like that, oh, 2029, out of sight, out of mind, just be ready, man. We got a Bijan 2.0 coming with Savion Hyder.
We do not. But again, regardless
he's a beast.
of who those picks turn into, they will be the cheapest you'll ever get them now. That's the essential point here, is that if you can stack up 3 2028 firsts and 4 2029 firsts while nobody gives 2 fucks about them, that's how you can turn this thing around in the long term. But don't get it twisted. This team is 3, maybe 4 years away from competing with that Thanos. So yeah, you are a long way from Kansas. Like I said, you're going to have to really do a lot of work, really grind the trade market. And again, like Danny mentioned, in an ideal world, would you want the 202 for Michael Wilson? Probably. But if somebody offers you the 205, you probably don't have a choice but to take it. If somebody offers you a 2028 2 and 3, even though you would like a 2028 first for Michael Wilson and Jalen Coker, you're not going to get that. So you probably should just take whatever's on the table for you. So I would absolutely be comfortable selling literally everybody off of this roster. Full value or close to full value for Lamar Jackson, especially, but Jeremiah Love and Mekhi Lemon, definitely team dependent, offer dependent if you sell them, because they are young enough that you could rebuild around them as well.
Yeah, like you were able to tank this year for Jeremiah Love. Like clearly, like you were 2-12. You got Jeremiah Love. I'm assuming you maybe you moved your first to go up and get Mekhi Lemon, which again, like that is just too tunnel visioned here. I don't know what you spent your 27 first on, but it was way too tunnel visioned. You had to look this team dead in the eyes and say, okay, Michael Wilson and Mike Evans are my wide receiver 2 and 3. Eli Heidenreich is going to be my RB2. Are you competing? And the answer to that 100 times out of 100 is no. Not to mention, the answer to that 100 times out of 100 is no if we're talking about in a redraft league. When we're talking about that team as your competition, we got to be fucking realistic here. We can't be delusional.
Yeah, like the number 3 team in the analyzer has the best 2 players in redraft on his team.
Yeah,
you're not close. You're not close. So again, hate to be the bearer of bad news or the bearers of bad news here, but you are far, far away from competing. So you should be selling anything and everything to try and get yourself competitive come 2020. I don't even want you to look up from the rebuilding frame of mind until like probably after the 2028 rookie draft. Maybe you can be like, okay, I hit on a lot of my picks. My team's starting to come into form. Maybe at that point you go, okay, going into the 2028 season, maybe there's some hope at the end of the tunnel, but I would imagine it's going to be 2029 when you're actually thinking that way.
Like, okay, you're at 35-38, Corey. Go to the 12 team. Like, what is his number? 35-38 versus 26-986, and we're talking about a pipsqueak. You're like 700 more in value. What is that? 900 more in value than a pipsqueak. Like, we have to look ourselves in the mirror and self-reflect here.
Yeah. I like that you have an extra 2028 one of liquidity already.
That was good.
Yeah, but keep going. You got to collect more of those.
Need about 8 more of those moves.
And first order of business is getting your first round pick back. Yeah. And if it costs you Lamar Jackson straight up for your first round pick, you might have to do it legitimately. Like you definitely need more than that in an ideal world, but
you need more than
that pick is going to be 2027 101 by the time you're done with it. And this time next year, Jeremiah Smith will absolutely be going ahead of Lamar in startups.
Yeah, 100%. The only risk is the pipsqueak is also going to go for the 101, so maybe it might be 102. But
even if it's Manning, he's still going to go ahead of Lamar.
There. You have to get yourself there. You have to.
Yeah,
you have to.
So again,
you can't.
Before this guy knows what you're doing, he probably will. He's a Thanos. I'm sure he knows what he's doing. If you ask him for your first back and he tells you all I'm willing to do it for is Lamar Jackson straight, you might have to do it.
Yeah. I mean,
but if you can package him more competitive assets, give him Mike Evans too. Give him Mark Andrews. Yeah. Give him as much as he can possibly handle to make sure he wins the championship and you get the 101. You can help each other very easily. It's a very mutually beneficial deal for both of you.
Yeah, you help his window, which is right now and probably for the next fucking 7 years, if we're being honest. If we're being honest, the Thanos team, probably a 7-year window.
Give him some
dominance.
More competitive assets too. You don't want Mike Evans. You don't want Mark Andrews. Get them off your team. Give them to him. He can use them.
You want okay. So this is another psychological tip in Dynasty. If you know you're dealing with a team that is competing right now and you're a rebuilding team, you want to make sure that they're spending as much future liquidity as possible on players that will be irrelevant by the time those picks materialize, because you want them to sunk. Because you want those picks to be a sunk cost by the time you're competing. That's what you want it to be.
Players that you're giving him are, by the time 2029 rolls around, not relevant for fantasy anymore, which Andrews and Evans won't be. So let's keep it rolling here. Unfortunately, that was the bearer of bad news team that we had to go.
We got to give these. We got to give the honest pill. You know what I mean? Like, again, when you're submitting these teams for review, we want to get you guys on the right path. So even if sometimes we're a little blunt, we have to say it like it is, you know?
Absolutely. So Brown 535, I believe this was a granted team review from like a live stream, because
I think this is Jake Brown, the one that was asking like on the YouTube.
Yeah, he was not able to submit last time and we were able to get him. And I think I mentioned like the only way you'd have a team review voucher was because you were in a live stream and got a team review voucher for free. So
I think the devs helped them out. So
they did. Yeah. So
perfect.
Discount double check here. He's a strong contender, trying to decide what to do in this league. He said there's one monster that I'm, below in contention. This guy's team is obviously a wagon, especially by contender rankings. He's actually third, and he's like a decent bit below.
Behind the all-in guy. So theoretically, if you wanted to push a couple chips in, you'd probably be ahead of him. Like if we just from an equity perspective, you could move a first and a second and be past the number 2 guy.
Yeah, I think when I look at this team, though, I don't think you got a shot of beating this guy, to be honest. Like,
hear me out, though.
2 and 3, RJ Harvey, like Jalen Warren. Like, I would actually reposition and refunction this roster to the point that it can be, instead of being good, top 3 to 4 this year, it's great, clearly top 2 in 2027.
Yeah. I mean, I think you can take it multiple paths. I do think, though, if you got, let's just say hypothetically, and keep in mind, I'm not just moving my first with the idea like, oh, like everybody in this league has to value it late. No. If somebody's willing to value it early, or not early, but if someone's willing to value it in the
mid
106 to 108 range, and you can say, hey, I can get a true stud anchor RB2 and maybe a couple veteran, like high producing wide receivers. Like, I think you can easily compete with this team. Now, obviously, there is a big-time juggernaut, but ultimately, if you can position yourself to be a top 2 team in your league, I think you should go for it. And I do think you're one move away, especially from a contending perspective, from doing that.
I don't disagree. I think if you can get a good buy window on a good, competitive asset that'll hold value, I get it. I think that relying on a receiver who's coming off of a blown ACL.
You could wait and see maybe week 4, week 5, if you make that determination. You don't want to move it too early, but I do think if you come to the realization in season, this thing is wide open. Toads is obviously a good team, but after that, you can even potentially position for a buy, hypothetically. I would be willing to make a move if needed. So I know this is the boring answer, and we'll have some decisions for you on the review. But realistically, the majority of the moves I would make in this season in regards to my pick equity would come, week 4, week 5, week 6. And I know I keep saying that, but like that is just the sweet spot for me, because week 4, week 5, week 6, you kind of know what the fantasy flow is. You kind of know who the high point producers are, and you kind of see, the league picture kind of form.
Yeah, I mean, he won't be getting a 2.0 because this was a free submission.
Oh, my apologies. I thought it was. I just saw team review. My apologies.
I wouldn't risk it. I think that when I look at Neighbors, Hunter, Addison, they're not good enough to compete with not only this guy's team, but the other contending teams in this league this season. So what I would do is sell AJ Brown, try and get yourself another 27 first, maybe a second on top of that, maybe another young receiver you can pivot him directly into, and maybe sell Jake Ferguson, who's a competitive asset. Dak Prescott, a competitive quarterback. You could either get younger there, or you could pivot directly off of him for capital. I just would try and 1-year punt this team personally.
Sure. I think you can go either direction. That's what it would be if you got younger, if you wanted to 1-year punt. If you did want to convert some more points, Bo Nix is a guy I'm looking at right now because he is young. He is coming off of an injury. If you wanted to say, hey, Burrow and Dak are going to be my quarterback 1 and 2 production-wise, let me see if I can down tier from Nix, maybe get an anchor running back plus like Malik Willis
Bryce Young or something,
quarterback 3 range type. Like realistically, Nix is probably going to be in the running back range of like the James Cook, the Jonathan Taylor,
if somebody offered me Kenneth Walker and Bryce Young for Bo Nix, I think that's probably a reasonable deal to go with. But again, I personally think it would be a mistake to try and push the chips in.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not making that move in the offseason. I'm more so making that like, oh, okay, Neighbors looks healthier than usual. And oh, my team is winning games and I'm a top 4 scorer in my team already. Like if you want to make the determination at that point is when I'm saying like, okay, these are the avenues to get more points.
Agreed. Yeah. So again, I think there's a number of different directions you can go. I suspect that he also mentions too, like one team has Henry and Adams who's rebuilding. I could go after those players. That I definitely would not do. Like I would not just buy pure contending assets like Henry and Adams personally. No. Like if your team was, let's say this guy's team, where I look at it and I'm like, okay, Henry and Adams are going to make significant impact to the point that you could actually win, I would agree with you. I just think that given the state of the receivers you have and their primes probably being closer to 2027 and beyond, I would 1-year punt this, frankly.
Yeah, no, I think that's reasonable. Ultimately, you can take it either direction, see what the information that you have at your disposal is. But if it does come to the point where you do want to 1-year punt it, obviously you do have some players like AJ Brown. Maybe he's producing like a monster at that point. You can bank up a first plus a liquidity. do that. Jake Ferguson, you mentioned that name. You could do that. Tucker Kraft, I think, is one of the biggest buy lows in the offseason. But if it comes to point by week 6 and he's the tight end 2 in fantasy and he looks like he's 3-3 himself
for a 1-year punt also, because your best 2 players at wide receiver and tight end are coming off of ACL tears.
So I don't disagree, but what I'm saying is, like, if he's producing like a monster and someone offers you a godfather type of deal at that point, don't be afraid to make a move if you need to.
Yeah. But yeah. So definitely. And like guys like RJ Harvey and Jalen Warren and stuff, I would be selling them off for pick capital, because I do love the receiver core upside wise that you have. It's just, there's not a whole lot of realized potential here, especially once you move off of AJ Brown, if you decide to take that path.
I'm going to quickly refresh my tab because I'm getting a little bit of the Roboto voice in StreamYard.
All right. I'm going to move on to the next team. And yeah, Brown, you definitely have some deciding to do. You mentioned, should I get a young hammer or two? Again, if it's available to you, by all means, I would hold on to your 27 first, though, because I would lean towards 1-year punting that team. Moving on to Evan here, Bill Nye, the running guy. I'm assuming this is in reference to Bill Krosky-Merritt here. Another FSE roast session might be in order here, because I do see that Evan is a pipsqueak here. So lots of work to do, very clearly, when you look at the roster. Hasn't had his rookie draft yet, so you still are going to add Jeremiah Love to this team at 110, 201, 210, etc. You're going to be adding players to this team. I do like that you have 3 first-rounders of liquidity built up, and you have, Hawk Tua's first, and you better something's first. So this guy's a strong contender. His first is probably going to be mid to late, and then this Hawk Tua guy's all in. His first is probably going to be mid to late as well. So you have some pick capital, you have some pick liquidity. This team is very clearly in the direction of, yeah, you're still selling anybody that you can. Like Pittman, Godwin, Pearsall, Debo once he signs somewhere, Hubbard, Rashad White, etc. You're selling everybody off of this team. And once you add 101, or even potentially, with a team like this, I would explore trading down from Jeremiah Love as well. If somebody's going to give you 104 where you can get Mekhi Lemon plus a 28 first, I would be very comfortable doing that. I think this is the type of team, again, very similar to what we said about 2 teams ago, where you don't have a winning window until 2029, most likely. You're not anywhere close to competing with a team like this. And I'm sure you probably know that at this point. Maybe you don't. If you don't know that, we're breaking some news here. You good?
Dude, my fucking, I can't hear anything. What the hell? Yeah, I'm just getting the Roboto the entire time. I just came in to see this team. Evan, everything and anything off this,
including Cam Ward, by the way, because there's enough risk with Cam Ward that there's no point in even holding him.
You know what? Honestly, this would be, so this sounds kind of like stupid, but this would be the type of team I would experiment to see if I can enter the season with an empty lineup with.
Yeah, exactly. And same with like your 110 and your 201 and your 210. If somebody's going to offer you a 2028 first straight for your 110, this is the perfect team to do something like that. If somebody's going to offer you their 2027 2 and 3 for your 201, this is the perfect team to be doing that with. So don't be married to even taking players at the selections that you have in your rookie draft upcoming as well. Jeremiah Love is really the only guy that, like, yeah, he is a significant difference maker. You could just pick him. But if you sold the rest of your rookie picks for future rookie picks, I wouldn't be totally mad at that.
Cappy, are you last again? Because we have been asking for last again to resubmit because we sent them a voucher for 3 weeks.
Yeah, Cappy,
if you are last again.
Yeah, Cappy, if you are I'm last again on the site, you have a team review voucher in your Flock account to resubmit your team, but make sure that we
don't do screenshots. We can't help you with screenshots. Is linked
because we cannot do a Dynasty Decisions 2.0. He said he's not. Either way.
Okay. Either way, though, we don't do screenshots. So
what's your username, Cappy?
Resubmit. What's your username?
I see Cappy28. I see it.
Okay. Yeah, we don't do screenshots. We can't give you an actual proper review with screenshots. Okay.
I see him right here. Cappy, I am sending you a team review voucher. Yep. So
perfect.
Resubmit with a linked team. Go to the My Teams page, follow the instructions there. You can link Sleeper, Yahoo, ESPN, whatever platform that you're on. MFL is supported now as well. So just resubmit that, and we'll get to that when we get to it.
Yeah, and also if I may as well just go into this last again. If you're hearing this, please submit. Please.
Yeah. We shouldn't even bother talking about this on live streams anymore. I'm going to get the devs to send us his email so that we can just send him an email, because I think he's probably just not checking the Flock chats or whatever. So we'll just send him an email to get that
But like,
sorted out.
that's the other thing too. Like, what if his 2.0 came in the DMs? Like, how are you not checking it?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out on the end.
Very frustrating. Sorry.
Final thoughts on this team, other than the pretty straightforward advice of sell everybody and anybody, and don't be married to spending your 2026 rookie picks. Try and punt them into future classes. Those are basically my biggest two takeaways here.
Yeah, sorry. I don't understand why you're robotic for me. Like, I'm gonna refresh again.
All right. Well, I could probably move on to the next team then. It's pretty straightforward, Evan. All you have to do is, hey, Michael Pittman, somebody wants to buy him and Chris Godwin, for example. Somebody's going to give you 228.2s for him. That's the type of deal that you're looking to go after because you're not thinking about competing. You're not even remotely thinking about competing until 2028, until 2029. So the further draft classes you can get into, you know, Michael Pittman and Chris Godwin for 228.2s, that's great moves there. You get those guys off your team and you get future capital.
Yeah, like realistically, you're not a 101 away. You're not a 110, a 201, 210, 301, 310. Yeah. I think you know that though, because you have extra 27 capital. If you could end up with, you know, for ease sake, we'll say 2 extra 2027 or 2028 first plus a couple extra seconds, and you're able to do that with the picks that you have right now, I think that would be a win-win.
Yeah. Find the, and we can give you some more practical advice here too. This guy's all in. He might not be looking towards going after more pieces, but hey, you have Geno Smith and Chris Godwin. Maybe he's interested in those guys, and you could potentially start looking up Debbie rankings. This guy, he's already all in anyway. What the hell does he care if he trades his 2028 capital for?
Yeah,
take Geno Smith, Michael Pittman, and Chris Godwin, and ask him if he wants to sell his 28 first for those players. You know what I mean? Like that's the type of move that I'd be looking to do. Seek out the teams that are near you in the analyzer who aren't very good, but maybe think they're really competitive and are ready to win, and go after their 2028 capital. Because the bright side of doing that, as opposed to going to these guys, is that you're probably getting the upside that pick is mid instead of late or whatever.
Yeah, I'm on the same page.
So let's keep it going here. We got a BigWalkDog, Mean Machine, shout out. How should I approach my running back needs in this year's draft? The first 4 picks are already locked in as Love, Tate, Lemon, and Price. So Price going ahead of Tyson there. What other rosters or holes needs should I prioritize? So first and foremost, you have the 105 and you're going to get Jordan Tyson. It is a 1 quarterback league, so no Fernando Mendoza. That's obviously, you're looking at your team going, I need a running back more than I need a receiver, but I would argue that you need a receiver as well. So grabbing Jordan Tyson at the 105 is definitely fine process to me. At 106, you're probably looking at Casey Concepcion as well. Given that it's a non-tight end premium 1 quarterback league, you're probably not going to take Kenyon Sadiq there, especially knowing you have Brock Bowers and Kyle Pitts already. I mean, this team is take the best player available in the rookie draft, which are probably going to be Tyson and Concepcion, and figure the rest out later. Your main question here is, how should I approach my running back need? The way that I would approach it is by trading a veteran receiver for a running back, if that's what you want to do. Rashee Rice, Ladd McConkey, Brian Thomas, etc.
I'm going to restart my PC real quick because I can't hear you.
All right. Go ahead and restart your PC, and then I'll keep on trucking along until then. Yeah, so that would be my takeaway off the top, because when I look at this roster, I think you're thinking, I'm just trying to get into your head, BigWalkDog here. I think you're thinking that you're 1 running back away from winning the championship or 1 running back away from competing. Now, by all means, explore the veteran trade market. You have the 105 and 106. If this guy down here or somebody with a shit team, if this guy's willing to sell you Devon Achane for the 105 and the 106, and maybe he'll even give you something back on top of it, by all means, go that route. If this guy's willing to, I guess he doesn't have a running back either. So it looks like most of the running back production is going to be on the competitive teams. This guy, for example, Nate's Hot Dogs or whatever, maybe he's willing to sell you Ashton Genty for the 105 and the 106. So explore those markets by all means. But for me, I look at this roster as, okay, maybe not quite a dominant force of nature yet. But if you hit on some rookie picks and you take best player available, you'll probably be well on your way to actually having a really good roster. And the other thing that gives me a little bit of pause about this team and just going all in and trading for a veteran running back or something is the fact that you do have some questionable and risky assets. We don't know what Ladd McConkey is going to be yet. We don't know what Brian Thomas is going to be yet. We don't know what Rashee Rice is going to be yet. If you had JSN, Tetaroa, McMillan, and Drake London, that would be a different story. I think you can stomach trading the 105 and 106 for a stud running back at that point because you know and feel confident in the running back and wide receivers that you have at that stage. So for me, I'd probably be going the route of just, I'm just going to take the best player available in the rookie draft and figure the rest out later. Maybe you could sell on Rashee Rice during the season when he's back to producing Rashee Rice type numbers, and you can, have people a little bit less worried about the fact that he's in prison right now or the fact that he's in a jail cell right now. So that would be the route that I would be looking to do because you do have two juggernauts in this league. Like when I look at these two teams, they are in pretty good shape. They are probably going to be, relatively speaking, the favorites. And when I sort by contending rankings as well, you're number 9 in contending rankings. So it's not like you're in a position right now to go, oh yeah, I'm one running back away from competing. Let's say you do add Devon Achane to this team. You probably jump from number 9 in the contending rankings to number 6 or number 7 in the contending rankings. It's not going to make a significant difference to your contending window. So for me, I would play the route of, I'm just going to take the best player available in the rookie drafts and figure the rest out later.
TLDR?
So the too late didn't read is this guy's team. Basically, he wants to know what to do at running back. But with the 105 and 106, he's not going to get Jadarian Price. So I thought, hey, Jordan Tyson, Casey Concepcion, let's figure out the rest later. And maybe 1 year punt this one more time. And then in 2027 or during the 2026 season, you could pivot Rice into a running back, or you could pivot Ladd into a running back, or whatever the case is.
With that being the case, I wouldn't even be opposed to selling the 106 for future capital.
Yeah, that's not a bad option either. It's a dynasty 1 quarterback, so you do got to be careful that you're not selling for a guaranteed late first. But any mid first in next year's class will probably go a longer way than the 106 in this class for sure.
Mid first in the next year's class, or if it's projected to be a late first, maybe you get a 1 and 2. Yeah, something like that. I do agree though. Like the window for this team starts in 27, in my opinion.
Yeah, like again, if this guy right here is going to give you Genty for the 105 and the 106, you should still do that. Like, even though that's more of a, aggressive win now type of move. If I'm buying a running back, I'm not buying Jacobs. I'm not buying Henry. I'm not buying, Kyron. I'm buying a running back that can hold value for the next couple of years. So if there's a buy window on Hampton, if there's a buy window on Achane, if there's a buy window on Genty or something, by all means, explore that option.
Yeah, no, I'm on the same page there for sure. Realistically, though, well-built team, a good amount of future capital. Potentially see if you can, if you make the move for Genty, you make the move for Genty. If you don't make the move for Genty, maybe you move the 106 for a pick next year.
Other roster holes that you should prioritize. Again, it's a 1 quarterback league, so you're totally fine there. You don't need any other real quarterbacks behind Jane Daniels, Bryce Young, and Sam Darnold. Tight end wise, I mean, the other thing I suppose you could do is pivot off of Kyle Pitts. Trade Kyle Pitts, sell him high for.
You could do this too.
Could sell Bowers as well. So I would rather hold Bowers just because I think he's going to have a great season. I would rather sell Pitts and see what I can get in pick capital for him.
I don't disagree with Bowers, but if you can get Loveland plus a first plus of equity, do you do it?
Yeah. On a team
that would be the one
that
pivot.
Would make sense, or even Warren plus a first and a second or something like that. Like I'm totally fine making a pivot off of Bowers if that's what it's going to take to get yourself some more liquidity. I just look at this roster and I go, I want to build up as many future assets as I can because once you add the receivers from this class into this team and take some swings at 205, at 206, at 305, at 306 on some running backs too, like maybe you take a Nick Singleton at 205 and he turns into something for you. The goal, I would say, is that you add your RB1 in the 2027 class, but your RBs like 2 through 4, maybe by the end of the season are figured out because Judkins hits and Singleton hits, and maybe you get some decent production out of Damon Claiborne at 306 or something like that.
Yeah, Adam Randall type, like just high upside, I would say, prioritizing.
All my mid-round picks this year would be going to swing on running backs or pivot into future capital. That would be my takeaway from those 205 to 306 types of picks there. So go get Marv for the 106. I mean, he doesn't really need Marv on this team, but I will say in a 1 quarterback league, I would sell the 106 for Marvin. If
Veach finds any excuse to bring Marv back up.
He just wants to hear us talk about it more, apparently. So. You do definitely have some work to do here, BigWalkDog, but I do think generally you're in pretty good shape. You have the ability to add some assets and make some moves beyond that point. So eat, sleep, FF, repeat here.
Also, real quick, just because we were talking about Genty, go fucking buy Genty for Fannin plus JT. Go do that.
Yeah, that's free cash.
Go get him. Go get
free
Genty.
Cash.
Free cash.
So Evan, And BigWalkDog, we will have your DD 2.0s within a couple of days as well, because they were 2.0s. And EatSleepFFRepeat, who we have here, will also be a 2.0 that we'll have to do in a couple of days as well.
Thanos in the league.
Thanos in the league. Yeah, we always gotta. It's the number one thing you got to look for right away is look for the Thanos in the league. When I look at this team, again, where is the GOAT? Whatever his team name.
He's gonna be low because he says I'm in a bad rebuild. I'm assuming he might be a pipsqueak in 12th.
Yeah, I'm trying to find.
Also, I don't know why it's still glitching. Like, is it StreamYard? I just restarted my PC. I have no tabs open, no Discord open, nothing open, and my stream just glitches sometimes. Like, you sound fine now, but
so I don't see his team though. It says the GOAT 7.
Go to the bottom.
I don't see any team that's named that. He doesn't have any indications really of what his team would be. If I go to trade, no. Lineup. Oh, I can hit the lineup feature. Right. I forgot about that. The lineup feature is the game saver or the game changer. So this is rebuild day, apparently, because everybody, at least half the teams that we've talked about so far, have been in some pretty fucking bad shape. So EatSleepFFRepeat is in similar situation here, where there's a Thanos in his league that has just a wagon of a team and has 4 ones of liquidity. Thankfully, you didn't give away your own first, which is obviously great news for you, because if you did, then you'd be in really rough shape here. But your team has nothing of value that I want to hold on to. Like Lawrence, Shuck, Gadsden, Kincaid have value, and you could hold on to them. But given the state of your team and given the state of this guy's team, your only course of action, as we've talked about already on this live stream, is to sell anything and everybody, because you are not competing with a Thanos with a couple of good rookie drafts. You are only competing with a Thanos with owning the next couple of rookie drafts. You got to sell Trevor Lawrence for 2+1s. You got to sell Tyler Shuck for a mid 1 and a mid 2 or something. You got to sell Aronde Gadsden for a 2028 1 with Gadsden and a 2 or something like that. Like, you got to get these guys off your team as quickly as possible. Anybody that pops up on your radar as spiked in value. Braylon Allen starts a couple games for the Jets next year. You sell him when Breece Hall goes down. Kyle Menengai has 3 touchdowns in a game where DeAndre Swift left early. You sell him at that point in time. So this is a team where everybody is expendable, and your goal is to own, because you're not going to own the 2027 class. Unfortunately, the Thanos already has that lockdown. You need to own the 2028 class and the 2029 class. So that's what you're going to need to be doing at this point in time. And that includes selling everybody and anybody. So if somebody wants to buy, again, as we talk about all the time, if you're in a position like this, you need to be targeting these middling, low-end teams and convincing them that they are a Trevor Lawrence and a Kyle Menengai away. They are a Tyler Shuck and a Aronde Gadsden away. So that would be my first course of action. Find the teams in purgatory. Go, okay, this guy doesn't really have that great of a quarterback core. Tebow time here. Perfect example. Sam Darnold, Matthew Stafford, etc. You go Trevor Lawrence plus, whatever wide receiver you can do, and see if you can get this guy's 27-1 and 28-1. That's your goal at this point in time. You need to be selling anything and everybody to the purgatory type teams in your league to try and collect as much capital in 2027, as much capital in 2028 as humanly possible.
I'm going to crash out. TLDR again?
So TLDR is yet another pipsqueak here. Number 12 in the analyzer. Really, really bad team. And the guy in first place is a Thanos with 4 ones built up. Thankfully, not his own first. Like, he has his own first rounder. But this guy's going to be owning the 2027 class. So by 2029, this is when you look up from your rebuild, pretty much, because you're not
even 2029. I'm going to keep it a stack. You should not be looking to compete anytime before the 2030s. Like, you have no chance to compete with that team who already dominates you across the board, who already has 4 2027 first. We got to be in a realistic amount. You don't have any future first collected, and you have fucking no good players. Sorry.
Not only that, but if you get Jeremiah Smith, get Jeremiah Smith, it's the type of team where you maybe want to sell high on him as well, if to the highest bidder. If this guy right here, for example, who has 4 2027 ones, wants Jeremiah Smith, and he'll give you like 3 ones of liquidity or whatever, plus like he gives you 105 plus a 28 1 plus I'm not joking, 9 or something like that, you might have to sell him for bites at the apple.
He might have to compound 3 separate first overall picks compound we usually say, oh yeah, maybe you consolidate because you want to go up and get a hammer, but like you can't even think about using your own picks for the next 3 or 4 years. Like this, like again, like you submitted it
Arthur's
for a
correct
reason.
here. Do we advise people to just orphan? I mean, I don't.
I
Generally, I like to tell people to
respectfully,
pick in the
if you orphan this team and left it to somebody else, I would call you a scumbag.
Again,
this cannot be. You cannot do the commissioner this dirty to leave this team if you made it into this situation.
Yeah, and he messaged and said, "I'm also looking for ways to sacrifice or to get some 2027 first rounders without sacrificing too much. Frankly, you need to be getting 27 first rounders and 28 first rounders and 28 first rounders by any means necessary.
What
is
you
are going to have to lose some trades.
Hey, what is sacrificing too much? Like you have to tell me what is sacrificing too much with this team. You clearly already sacrificed too much.
Yeah, your goal is to get that trade analyzer, trade calculator on the Flock site to as close to fair trade as possible. If it says you slightly lose, but you're getting 2 ones of liquidity for a player, then you got to do it.
I also have to say apologies if I'm a little bit snarky because this fucking stream keeps booting me out, but a little bit is on that, but also like if you did this to this team, you have to do everything to get out of it.
Yeah,
like, you have to.
Like, and maybe EatSleepFFRepeat didn't do this to this team. Maybe he took over this orphan, in which case I hope you got a couple of years covered up front because this team is in very, very rough shape. So
5 years of turning it around is what you'll need. You have to devote the next half decade of your life towards getting this to even competent.
Yeah, I don't know about half decade because let's say you get good value for Lawrence.
He's not competing by 28.
Guys, I'd say 3 years is when you should start to see some of the fruits of your labor if you can win a couple trades.
Sorry, competent contending. Before you can contend, it's about
4 to 5 years for contending, 3 years to be in a house money window potentially.
Yeah, that's fair.
Regardless, also, John, people are paying seconds for Gadsden. I would pay a second for Gadsden, no questions asked.
Dude, you're not getting Gadsden for a third. What are we talking about? The guy was like a fringe tight end one as a rookie last year.
Yeah, I get that his value is depressed right now, but I'm not paying a third for him.
Like bro, Dalton Schultz is being sent for 3rd round picks. There's a difference there. Come on.
Yeah, Danny is advising people to buy AJ fucking Barner for 3rd round picks.
There you go.
Guy blows.
There's a difference. I would watch him play football, and you would have a different opinion.
I just like throwing shade at AJ Barner at this point.
He's a good player, man. People sleep on him.
I love mid so much. It's so fun.
Lugalu.
Anyways, yeah. Again, very straightforward here on FSE Roast Day. You're selling everybody for future capital. And again, the top 3 tips we can give you guys if you're in this situation. Number 1, don't be married to 2027 capital. Aim for 2028 and 2029. It'll be cheaper. Number 2, you need bites at the apple. So when you're picking in a rookie draft at 203 next year, somebody offers you their 208 plus a future 2 in 2029. You need volume of assets. And then number 3, don't be married to getting full value for your players. You need to be selling players and getting them off of your team, even if it's 95 cents on the dollar.
You might have to go to your league commissioner and say, hey, is there any way that we can have like a Devi sheet or something like that I can write down? So if I make trades for 2030, 2031, 2032, 2033, 2034 capital, I can just write it on the sheet. And then when they add it to Sleeper, they get sent to my team.
Yeah.
Like maybe you can barter with your league commissioner. Obviously, I'm being...
Well, here's the tough thing is some people are in leagues with teams like this, and their commissioner says you can't buy 28 capital. Yeah. You can't do it until 2028 or 2027 or whatever.
Also, another rant. That's complete fucking bullshit. If your commissioner's like, hey, we don't want to deal too many future years out, it's like, how do you expect a team like this to get out of the mud?
No, you can't. It's really difficult because by the time you get to the 2028 class, if you can't trade for 2028 capital until 2027, you're going to be looking at a situation where people now understand, oh, it's going to be a Malachi Tony. It's going to be a this. Like you don't want people to know who's in the class, basically.
Yeah.
That's why trading for 2029 capital is like kind of the play for a team like this.
Brother, if they're a freshman in high school, that's your target.
Yeah. You're going full statutory on these guys because you don't have the opportunity to go after anything else because this team is in garbage position right now, unfortunately. So EatSleepFFRepeat. I hope you sleep some more because you need more sleep if this is the team that you created.
You might need to rename this squad under 18s because that is what your team's going to consist of by the time you're ready to compete.
Yeah, no, this team is in brutal shape. But anyways, let's keep it rolling here on FSE Roast Week. Hopefully we get a decent team here. So Chipper, number 3 in the analyzer.
Okay.
Finally, some functional teams.
No, I'm joking, by the way, if you guys are pipsqueaks, but some competence. No, I'm kidding.
Maybe I'm biased, but I feel like I'm only a tight end away or so from being a contender. Well, that's why you submitted the team. We can tell you if you're being biased or not. And he said, I've thought about trying to trade Devontae post June 1st for Fannin Kraft type. Okay, so I mean, you're thinking, once AJ gets dealt, Devontae's going to spike in value, which I think is definitely fair.
Corey,
what's up?
What if he just named his team like Epstein's Island or something?
Yeah, okay, we got to chill with that.
I'm joking. Relax.
I know, but I don't want to get
have a sense of
YouTube
humor
on our cheeks. Chipper, I don't even actually think you need a tight end upgrade. Like, is Fannin and Kraft, like Fannin and Kraft are great, obviously, don't get me wrong, but do I want to give up Devontae Smith for him when I already have Jake Ferguson? Not really. Like, if I'm going to give up an asset, I want like a significant producer at the tight end position.
Yeah, I'm on the same page there. What was the exact trade? Like, he
said post June 1, Devontae goes up in value because AJ gets dealt. Do I trade him for Kraft or trade him for Fannin? It's like, I would prefer Devontae Smith now over those guys.
I would rather try to use Igbuka to see if I can get to like Warren, or maybe you add to Igbuka and get Loveland. Like, that's what I would
do anything.
Yeah, but like, if you're gonna go get a tight end, I'm saying, like, if
I guess, I look at this team and I go, yeah, Jake Ferguson, Chigakonko, David Njoku, sign me up. That's fine. Totally fine with those guys.
The Alpha Beast. 1-year deal too. Crazy comment. Oh, they're still going on about Njoku.
There's a Gadsden. There's a me and you style debate in the chat about Gadsden right now.
Hey, it's what the community is. We sparked like the just the beefs, like just going out after two random players.
Just call our channel FF Rage Bait. But yeah, this team's in really good shape, man. Like, when I look at this, it's a 1 quarterback league. Herbert, Dak, you're going to play matchups with those guys. No problem. Easy. Yes, you're a tight end away from having no weaknesses, give or take, when you look at your roster. But when I sort by contending rankings, you're number 3 in the analyzer. And in a start 8, you're going to have Amarian Hampton, Chase Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors once healthy, Devontae Smith and Igbuka in the meantime, Jake Ferguson, Dak Prescott in your lineup. That's a very good redraft team. Like, when you sort by contending rankings, pretty much everybody that I just named is a top tier asset at their respective position, minus Jake Ferguson, who's like a back end tight end 1, who I would argue is undervalued in redraft. So, yeah, like if anything stood out to me, I would rather sell Tyson, if anything, because Tyson's your most risky receiver, and maybe you could upgrade at tight end using Tyson and Ferguson combined or something like that.
Yeah, no, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, Tyson or Igbuka, I didn't actually see Tyson at first,
like,
but like,
this
Tyson,
guy's team is also so young. Would he be interested in Tyson for Tyler Warren? Like, he already has the whole receiver class from this year.
Yeah.
So maybe he's like, hey, I'll get Jordan Tyson. He fits my build.
We'll go up to, yeah, I mean, in most leagues, that should be able to get it done. Because Warren's 40 overall.
41 in my rankings for Tyson. So.
Okay, so wow, I mean, that's actually higher than I thought for you. Oh, 1 quarterback, that makes more sense.
1 quarterback, yeah. So they're very close in my rankings. I would say, generally speaking, you don't need to do that. I'm fine with Jake Ferguson, but if you want to move off and upgrade at tight end, get a significant producer, and alternatively, you could see how much a Trey McBride, how much a Brock Bowers is going to cost you. Like, if you can go after Brock Bowers for Devontae Smith or Emeka Egbuka plus something else on your roster, you could go ahead and do that. I also wouldn't be opposed to trading up at running back too, taking Bashal Tootin plus Jordan Tyson and seeing what kind of running back I can get with that.
True hammer. Like,
is Bashal Tootin plus Jordan Tyson enough to get you Devon Achane?
I was going to say, like, Hampton, Achane, like someone in that tier.
Yeah, maybe, I mean, he has Hampton already, but like James Cook, Devon Achane, somebody like that. Like, yeah, I personally would be very much comfortable just upgrading your starting lineup. That would be what I would be looking to do. Yeah. I would take Bijan as well. And the other thing you could do as well is, given the strength of your team from a competitive standpoint, you could see what the pivot Neighbors option looks like. Like, could Malik Neighbors plus Jordan Tyson get you Puka Nacua plus a competitive tight end or a competitive running back or another competitive receiver?
Question. Would you flip Neighbors for Bijan and then see if you can flip Tootin and Tyson for like another hammer to a receiver?
You could, but nobody's going to give you Bijan for Neighbors.
Oh, sorry, not Bijan, Genty.
Genty, yeah, Genty. Yeah, I think that's about fair.
Yeah, misspoke because you were talking about Bijan, so fucking Freudian slip.
Basically, all you're looking to do at this point, Chipper, is see your starting lineup. How much point equity can you upgrade in it? and not sacrifice too much in the long term. Like, I don't want to be just selling Neighbors for Derrick Henry or something like that. Obviously, we mean like, hey, Neighbors is a young asset. Genty's a young asset. Neighbors is a young asset. Devon Achane is a young asset. Like, we're looking for players that are at least relatively similar in terms of their long-term outlook. But I think generally your strategy is pretty on point. I wouldn't sell Devontae Smith. I know that's your initial instinct here. I would rather sell Jordan Tyson, but maybe you're super high on Tyson. That's totally fine too. And alternatively, as I said at the beginning of this, the correct answer could just be doing nothing also, because I think this team is ready to compete as well.
Well, I mean, also I said like I would have Tyson slightly higher than Smith, but also I think the market would have a bigger difference. Even though I like Tyson slightly higher than Smith, the market's probably going to prefer Tyson a lot more, and we're more on the camp that Devontae Smith is undervalued. So
yeah. And Trey, to answer your question, who's the Dolphins' leading receiver? I don't care.
Greg Dulcich.
Yeah, I don't care. I think that if I have to take a swing, it'll be Chris Bell or Caleb Douglas, just because they're rookies, and I'll take the swing.
Chris Bell seems like the week 10 to like week 17 guy. Like, oh, like he's a waiver wire guy you pick up for like $14 on the wire in week 10, and you get like 11 to 12 points per game down the stretch, maybe.
Yeah, but as far as like, am I gonna when I project the Dolphins, the answer to that question will probably be Jalen Tolbert or Malik Washington.
Yeah,
but I don't want either of them.
Tolbert's a little sneaky too, because he had like a 700-yard year.
I think that Malik Willis might have a 700-yard year passing. So I am not really interested in any of them. Hey, when I project the Dolphins passing yardage, it will be probably sub 3,000.
Let's be real. This is the answer, but.
Yeah,
we're more so just being facetious with the pass.
Yeah, in terms of leading target earner, it is probably Devon Achane.
Yeah, well, even still, like I mean, who knows actually without like the pure creativity of Mike McDaniel, but like if you're Bobby Slowick and you know that's the best receiving talent that you have, you can get really creative with that route tree.
Yeah, exactly. So we could probably move on from Chipper's team here. Appreciate the submission,
Corey. Over under
649.5. I would take the under, because I think that they'll be so bad that they're going to want to see Quinn Ewers at some point.
Maybe. Fair.
I am not of the opinion that Malik Willis is some great contending buy. I think that he is a one-year rental the way Justin Fields was. I don't think he's starting for an NFL team next year.
Which at his current cost is reasonable, because it's probably like an early to mid 2. Like if you need a guy that can give you 18, 19 points per game in a stopgap type of role for a contending team, I think that's reasonable.
You laugh, Arthur, but they like him. I'm not saying I like him. I watched him for years. He's not a good quarterback, but the Dolphins seemingly like him enough that they would want to get him an opportunity.
Shout out Harry. Harry is in the chat. Appreciate you, brother.
But yeah, let's talk about JediMasterHarry here. Man in Jameer. So looking to compete. Speaking of buying cheap production at tight end, other juggernaut wants Tet or even Chase, but I don't want to sell Chase. Neither would I, because I think he's going crazy. Rutan may be willing to do a deal for Tet and Hendo for Chase Brown and some pieces, Flowers, McConkey, etc. I'd love to sell Hendo. I've done it twice this offseason. It's pretty fun. Thanks. Love what you do.
I don't like that deal though. Like I feel like Chase Brown plus one of those receivers is usually what the going rate for Tetero McMillan is to begin with. So adding Hendo to that kind of feels imbalanced.
Yeah, I mean he's getting a 2.0, so we're gonna have opportunities to give him some real trade discussions here. I personally, just out of principle, would not want to deal with the other juggernaut, frankly.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, the other juggernaut wants this. I wouldn't even trade with him.
To be fair, though, go to the other juggernaut, because I think it could work in your favor. If he wants Tet and you're like, hey, listen, I want Drake London, like, and you could work.
Plus.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. It's like, if you're going to work with the other juggernaut, make sure, like, obviously he doesn't have to know this, and hopefully he's not watching right now. Make sure if you do it, you're taking point equity off of his team.
And maybe winning in the trade analyzer as well, probably in an ideal world, obviously.
In an ideal world, because like the principle, if you maneuver Tet and like it costs you like a little bit of extra filler, like a 2 of value hypothetically, and you upgraded from Tet to London, and that was like a 4 to 5 point per game jump, you're taking 4 to 5 point per game off of this team, and you're adding it to yours.
Yeah, like that's how I do. Another thing you could do as well is, what if Neighbors plus Henderson gets you Kenneth Walker and Drake London? Does that interest you at all? Because you're putting an ACL tear receiver on his team and taking a healthy receiver off.
I think that would be a very good idea as well. Who's his tight end? I didn't see, because he mentioned
he doesn't have a tight end at the moment. So
could you do something along the lines of like, I would even be willing to go on the board of like London plus Kraft for Neighbors even too.
I would probably need more than that to move off of Malik, but
well, Malik's like an early to mid second startup pick. London's like a mid to late second round startup pick.
I
So I
would
do
throw
think that's
Henderson
good.
and Price swap in there to even it out just a little bit more because I prefer Price to Henderson. But I know some people maybe don't share that opinion.
Or maybe you add a piece and you get Ken Walker back in that too. Like you can we can mix up some good potential proposals there.
Ultimately, I do think the best course of action would be to not trade with him.
Yeah.
And this guy has 3 tight ends you could go after. Sadiq, Gadsden. I mean, Gadsden, people have been talking about it for the last 20 minutes in the chat, how cheap Gadsden might cost you.
Yeah.
And given the strength of your team, if all it costs you is, trying to look on the, you don't really have a player in the tier of
Gadsden.
The thing. Challenging. And
I mean, hey, according to John, you could just send one of those 27 thirds for him. You'll be good.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to get him for that.
I'm joking.
Here's the other thing too, dude. Kyler Murray and Matthew Stafford are good quarterbacks for redraft. Long term, you're in pretty rough shape at the quarterback position.
That's a good
point. As far as a super flex league is concerned, like you are pretty light at that position to the point that I would actually probably rather solve that problem and get a tight end in the process. Like if I could sell Tedoroa McMillan for Trevor Lawrence and a productive tight end, I would do that. If I could sell Tedoroa McMillan plus Trevion Henderson for a productive running back, a productive tight end, and a quarterback, I would do that.
I would even be able to sacrifice some more value long term if it means like the point. Like I would even be willing to go down to like Purdy or
Knicks,
something like that. Yeah,
Love.
If I'm getting a really really good plus, I could maybe stomach doing Dak too, even though he's older. But like something like that.
Like. Looking at, I'm going to try and find a team that this would make sense with here. I mean, this guy's team kind of makes sense because he has Hurts. Maybe you
said QB hungry league. So that's good context too to have.
Good context for sure. I'm trying to see if there's anybody that has some quarterback. I mean, this guy has Prescott on a team that shouldn't be able to compete.
Oh, you might be able to get him for dirt cheap.
So this guy should be heavily motivated to sell Prescott.
And never mind.
Guy, okay, this guy's brain damaged, but if he wasn't thinking that way, or maybe you need to wait a little bit into the season and actually make the deal.
But Corey, he was 7-7 last year, and Justin Jefferson just got a huge quarterback upgrade.
Yeah, gross.
That's how people think, by the way. That's how people think.
What if you? I'm just again proposing this package. It can't hurt to ask this guy: Malik Neighbors and Trevion Henderson, plus something else. Like I'm trying to think of a plus that he could throw in here. Malik Neighbors, Trevion Henderson, and I don't know, something else. Jalen Waddle, somebody cheaper, maybe.
For Jefferson, Dak, and what?
Kyron is what I was going to say. Because Kyron gets you productive running back at the same price as Henderson. Jefferson's an upgrade at receiver or, productive-wise. Maybe you have to do McMillan instead of Neighbors because you don't want to give up too much or whatever.
The only counter to that, this guy already dealt his 27-1. So I don't think he's going to be willing to tear it down, actually. Who has this 27-1? Because that guy just lucked out.
Maybe we should just not deal with that guy because he's probably brain damaged and doesn't know what he's doing. This guy, however, maybe you could talk to him because he has 4 startable quarterbacks. So Brock Purdy, Breece Hall, Devontae Adams. Brock Purdy, Breece Hall, and Devontae Adams for Tedoroa McMillan.
The other jug got his one. The other jug got the pipsqueaks one.
What about this offer?
Let's hear.
T-Mac and Trevion.
T-Mac, Trevion.
For Hall, Purdy, and Adams from this guy.
T-Mac, Trevion.
Purdy and T-Mac roughly a wash. So it's Hall and Adams for Trevion, essentially.
You might have to squeeze him back at 2, but I think that would be reasonable.
Those are the types of trades I'm looking to do. And he has Kelsey too. Maybe you can throw him back something to get Kelsey back from him so that you get a productive tight end.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah.
That would be a good idea. Kelsey would be good for your team. Maybe he thinks he may be willing. He's super quarterback hungry. Yeah. Definitely try then.
This guy too. I mean, this guy's Harold Fannin and Sam Laporta. I would be willing to go after Sam Laporta.
I would too.
What if you could go Malik Neighbors? This guy needs receivers, probably. What if you went Malik Neighbors and Jalen Waddle?
Would you move Neighbors for Pickens and Laporta straight up?
No.
What if you got another piece
plus for Pickens and Laporta though?
Okay, yeah, T-Mac could work in that capacity.
Would you do T-Mac and Waddle for that?
Also, that's my bro. He won't trade with me, JK. I mean, you can trade. I mean, his team name is named after Laporta, so like that equity might be tough
And
too.
it says holding or holda in it. So
yeah, that might be tough.
again, we're spitballing here. We're throwing out some trade packages. See what you can do. This guy is obviously a rebuilder. Maybe he's not married to anybody. Like when I'm rebuilding, I'm not married to anybody. So Tyler Warren, come on down. Maybe go after Tyler Warren. Like you have somebody else's first round pick as well. And it's King Rex, who's in purgatory. So definitely don't. I mean, he has really good running backs at the top with Bijan and Genty, but other than that, doesn't have a lot of depth. You could theoretically take that 27 first and go after Tyler Warren plus something else to balance out the trade. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's opportunities, in my opinion, to be able to go, hey, I'll give you Trevion Henderson, this 27 mid projected first, and Jalen Waddle or something for Amari and Hampton and Tyler Warren, and get yourself some real competitive firepower to go after some players. So again, we threw out a lot of trade opportunities, a lot of trade packages. We'll give you even more refined ones in the Dynasty Decisions 2.0. So generally, you have a hole at tight end, which you recognize, a hole at long-term quarterback 2 or quarterback 1, even if you wanted to really get a hammer quarterback, and then have Kyler and Stafford as your 2 and 3. And then maybe you want to transition Henderson into a competitive running back.
Also, am I crazy, or is the Walrus, or it might not have been exactly the Walrus, but there was like a horror movie where a guy got turned into a walrus. Is that what the reference is for that first team?
I wouldn't know. I don't really watch horror movies, but maybe.
I'm also asking Harrison if he knows what the reference I'm making is. I just saw the team name, so I'm like, I remember the guy who played Justin in Dodgeball, the guy that like had the storyline with the cheerleader. He was the one. Like it was a horror movie who got that guy got turned into a walrus.
That guy?
Yeah, it was Tusk. That's what it is, bro. There's like a psychotic person who like he was like interviewing him, and the guy drugged him, cut off his limbs, and turned him into a walrus.
Mason, we would fill out the trades suggestions in the trade section, but he got a 2.0, so we'll just fill those out in there as well. But I suppose we could do that. Danny, what he's referring to here is while we're doing team reviews, you can actually add trade opportunities here.
Oh, that's fire. Okay.
So like if we wanted to go
I always get confused.
Yeah, like if we wanted to be like, oh, okay, so we're gonna go trade for Breece Hall, we're gonna trade for Brock Purdy, we're gonna trade for who was the other guy that I said on this team?
Breece
Hall, Brock Purdy, and somebody else. Can't remember. It was a tight end, I think. Kelsey.
Yeah.
And we're gonna give up T-Mac and I mean, Henderson, I probably wouldn't quite pay all of that, but you could. I mean, yeah, it's probably fair, give or take. Yeah, you're still getting that. Like, this is the type of trade that you could make. So we'll send you one of these as one of the trade suggestions. But again, we'll give you more in the 2.0s.
That's fair.
Keep it rolling here with Sick here, who mentioned he was at a barbecue or something like that. Hopefully he's seeing this after the fact. And also, what up, Corey? Boys? My league has 0.25 points per carry buff as well, mainly helping running backs and quarterbacks. I have the 106, and I'm on the clock. Okay. Probably not anymore because it's 1 day from now, 1 day ago. Choosing between Casey, Lemon, Stowers, and Coleman. Now, again, Sick, unfortunately, we'll send you a trade question on the house here.
Well, he said
in time.
He mentioned on the stream here, or not on the stream, on the YouTube. Let me see exactly what he said. I don't mind sending like a trade question either, by the way. But let me see when his draft was, because he had mentioned it. Sick with it. He said,
I haven't left yet, and I'm still on the clock. He just said in the chat.
Let's go. I think I get it in the next 2 days. Okay, he didn't mention. Yeah,
Makai Lemon, KC, Lemon, Stowers, and Coleman. Makai Lemon. Yeah, Makai Lemon is my 103 in the class, and I think you're 103 as well, or Mendoza still your 103.
Mendoza in a super flex /2 quarterback.
Yeah. He said, I like him, but I don't know about this pick, and trading sucks in this league, so he'll be gone. So I definitely wouldn't take Jonah Coleman if that's what you're saying here. And he said, also, any other advice? Y'all are goats. Okay, so looking at his team. FML, where is he? Am I blind?
FML.
Go to lineup, I guess.
No, go to trade. Mason just explained that.
No, I'm trying to see which team he is.
Yeah, I know. He literally said that. You can fill out the trade in the trade tab on the roster.
Not the same thing.
Yeah, but if you click into it, you can see which roster that he is if you offer a trade.
I guess the starting lineup thing was there as well. But anyways.
Oh, fair. Okay.
The team that he has here is it
Adding
definitely
Lemon.
could use Makai Lemon also. Like this is a team that could definitely use another receiver at the 106. You're a little short on elite competing wagon type of assets is the one concern I have with this team. Like obviously London and Gibbs are going very high in redraft, but beyond those guys, you're looking at more like mid-round type of redraft assets.
Question mark. Knowing that you're who did he give his 27-1 to? Please tell me it wasn't the Juggernaut. That's the only thing. That's the only thing I'm worried about. Is that your one? Yeah, you gave your one to the Juggernaut. So now he's gonna, like, if you tried to get that back, he would try to tax the fuck out of you.
Yeah, I mean, if we sort this by contending value too, like you're still only 7th.
That's what I mean.
Value, which is
like I wouldn't have given up the 27-1 in any circumstance. Like I'm curious. Well, I mean, you're in here. What did you give up the 27-1 for?
Yeah, let us know in the chat what you gave it up for. Either way, I look at this team kind of destined to finish in 5th or 6th place. If I'm being honest, I don't
disagree. Like, that's why I'm saying I wish I had my one right now.
Yeah, because
then I could completely turn it over, get a high pick, and then 2027 you'd be able to compete again. You probably extended the window to compete again till 2028 now because you gave up the one, in my opinion.
In fairness, this guy's juggernaut is being carried by the fact that he has the best 2 quarterbacks in Dynasty, not necessarily overall production value of the rest of his team.
Well, that's the thing. It's also more youth based because I'm sure the contending status might not even be number 1. Like he might be like
it still is.
Oh, he still is, but it's closer.
May, but
it's closer.
And like again, I don't want to like copium too hard here and be like, oh, okay, like if you just hit on this and hit on that, you'll be able to compete. This is a wait and see approach very clearly to me. It's like, okay, you're gonna add Makai Lemon. Let's say at 206, you take like Nick Singleton or something like that. We'll see what happens. Is Ladd breaking out? Is London having a great season? Is Gibbs having a legendary season? Is Kyron still the guy? Is Hunter breaking out? Like, if things go right for you, you can compete with this team. I just worry that you're going to be 3rd or 4th in this league.
Also, shout out Trent. Yeah, after the stream, I will be running some chill with the boys, so that'll be fire.
There you go.
Got to redeem the Habs last night, you know?
There you go. I lost my train of thought. Anyways, Dak, Mayfield, those guys are not going to be hammer quarterback producers, but they are going to be productive. Gibbs is going to be a hammer. London's going to be a hammer. The problem is, like I said, you're kind of just average across the board, except for Gibbs and London.
And that's the thing, Corey. If he had his 2027 first-round pick, my first suggestion would be, like, would you look for a godfather for Gibbs? Because I would almost want to retool this thing for a year, possibly a year and a half, and then kind of see where I'm at by then.
Or one thing you could do as well is be like, hey, I just took Makai Lemon. I'm going to take Ladd McConkey plus my future first and go get a competitive stud running back like a Genti or something like that, or whatever the case is. But in this situation, you are really not in any other mode other than I got to see what happens with this team and how it materializes. Because again, if you look at it like a redraft roster, Gibbs, London, Kyron, McConkey, that's like a 1st through 4th round pick, right? Pick Gibbs in the 1st round, London in the 2nd round, Kyron in the 3rd. Like, it's good enough to be a good team. It's just that this is Dynasty, right? And people are going to have more than those types of assets.
Yeah, so in a redraft league, I completely agree. In a Dynasty league, people kind of got to recalibrate what their thought of contention is. In a redraft league, you can look into a team that does have significant holes, or at least slight holes. I wouldn't say significant, but slight holes, and think, okay, I can win the title with this. In Dynasty, sometimes you got guys that legitimately have top 5 players at every position stacked up in their lineup,
which is not the case in this league. I might add. It's like there's good teams, but there's no team that I look at. There's no Thanos in this league or something like that. And he said I had the 3rd highest scoring team last year, but I had the most points scored against me. Yeah, I think all signs to me point to seeing what happens with this team. And if things are going sideways for you, and players are not producing, you're losing games early on, I'm selling Dak, I'm selling Kyron, I'm selling Baker Mayfield, I'm selling the older assets on this team if things are going sideways for you. If things are going conversely good for you, then maybe at that point you can tier up from somebody. But again, not having your first is a problem here because things are going sideways for you. If things are going sideways for you, your only course of action, at least to start, is to go get your own first back. And at that point, that guy who is holding your first might see that things are going sideways for you and not want to give it to you.
Well, again, not to pick, this is the problem to begin with. Not remembering what you gave up your 27 first for implies that you didn't get enough for it.
Yeah, and maybe you did. Maybe it was part of like a package deal to get Gibbs or something, and it's like a stud asset that you received. But even still, I don't think I would have sold my 27
it was for like Kyron
Williams.
Like it might have been for, like, you know what I mean? Or like if it was for Baker, or you know what I mean? Like, like I'm curious. Also, crazy plot, by the way, Corey, for the movie I was referencing, where the guy got turned into a walrus. Chase explained it. So yeah, appreciate it, Chase, for the context, because I do remember seeing the trailers for that movie and being terrified.
This might be the most ADHD side tangent you've ever had, is being obsessed with this walrus movie.
Well, I just saw the walrus is the guy's name, and I thought the movie was called The Walrus, but he mentioned it was called Tusk.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Anything else on this team aside from 106? You take Mekhi Lemon, 206, best player available, obviously, but probably gearing towards if you can take a shot on a Nick Singleton if he's there. If not, you're probably gearing towards, you know, Ted Hurst or Chris Bell or Elijah Surratt, one of the receiver prospects.
Question. Go to the top team that unfortunately you might have to be juicing him up, but he might have the assets you're looking for, especially knowing that he has your first. Do you do a deal where basically this guy is like, oh, shoot, he's in a competing window now and he feels like he can go for it? Do you see if you can get your first back in a deal that gets you maybe darting a 27 first for Gibbs?
What I was going to get that pick early? Maybe because he's competitive, he would be interested in a true Godfather. You give him Gibbs in London, he gives you Neighbors your first and something back.
Yeah, Dart would be a good pickup.
And that way you get yourself a quarterback that's younger. Maybe you even, you know, work in a Mayfield or something into that offer to give him a quarterback back or something. I think that that's a possibility. I will say though,
this makes more sense then. Yeah, if there's an experience gap and this guy knew how valuable picks were and was kind of exploiting it a little bit, that would also make a ton of sense there.
However, though, maybe he just got lucky. Maybe. And he is building a good team on the fly, and it's his first time also. He might not understand, like you and I understand, Danny, that when someone wants their first back, it's probably an indication that they don't think they can compete. And maybe you can get your first back for mid-first round price tag instead of early to mid price tag, which is what it should be going for, at least at this moment in time. Not that your team is bad and it's going to be an early first. It's just that you want that flexibility to turn it into an early first if it's not going well.
Well, because the issue is if I can't look myself dead in the eyes and think I'm instantly going to be at least a top 2 to 3 contender in the league, I always want to retool, and not having your first doesn't allow you to retool. And you're number 7. So like if you were in this situation, except you were number 2 or number 3 in contention status, then it would be a different tune.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Using the contending rankings is a really great tool for new dynasty players, especially because the number one problem a new dynasty player is going to find themselves caught up in is trying to compete when they can't. That's the number one problem that every new dynasty player has experienced, myself included, thinking I can compete when I couldn't.
Yeah, and that would make sense if Sampa is the most experienced. But I mean, overall, obviously, I mean, you've been in the stream, you've seen like the situations of some teams. Like for your first league, like giving up your first wasn't ideal. But realistically, you're still in a solid spot. Like you can turn this thing around for sure.
For sure. So let's keep it rolling here. Moving on to Ramzic here.
How many we got left? 4?
What's up?
How many teams we got left?
We got more than 4 left. We got 9 left still.
Okay, I didn't see the thing left. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, there's still quite a few teams left. I mean, Cappy had to resubmit and hasn't yet. So technically we got 8 left.
Okay. Are they all reviews or trade questions too?
They're all reviews. Okay. There's 1 trade question left. Sorry. Okay. 8 reviews and a trade question is what we got left here. So, all right, let's keep it rolling here. Ramzic, Habib FC, huge fan. Been in the league for the past 3 seasons. Tanked the first season, made the championship the second season. Third, lost in the first round. I don't see the resubmission here. Oh yeah, you did. Never mind. So he has. We only have 7 left.
Okay.
I might have made some rash trades this offseason, moving CD and JJ, but loaded on some picks, turning myself into house money. I'm lost on what to do. I mean again, good sign is that you're number 1 in the analyzer.
That's and you're ahead of the juggernaut, by the way. Keep that in mind.
Which is pretty crazy. I guess if we sort by contending rankings, he's number 3. The juggernaut has, a little bit more production value. It looks like he has a little bit more pick liquidity built up with the 4 1s.
That's very good.
This is a great situation. You say you don't know what to do. I think you know exactly what you're doing here. This is
you're doing it.
Yeah, given the 4 first rounders of liquidity, this is a team where I would sell contending risky assets like Baker Mayfield and Tyler Shuck. I would try and pivot from one of those quarterbacks into a better quarterback if I can. Yeah. Like, can you go Baker Mayfield plus the latest projected first that you have and see how close that gets you to Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, if you could do that, that would be great. Also, anytime Sick, appreciate you for sending in the review, and happy to hear about the progress that you make along the lines.
Yeah, like I think when you have a team like this, it behooves you to just align your whole team with the window that you're going to be best in. Could you compete this year? Yeah, But I would rather sell T. Higgins at peak market value, Jalen Waddle at peak market value, Baker Mayfield and Tyler Shuck at peak market value, turn a couple of those assets into a stud quarterback if possible, and also maybe collect some more picks or whatever the case is. And then come 2027, this is a Thanos. This is a monster.
Yeah, I'm on the same page there too. Maybe you can also move Kyle Pitts in season. He's on the $15 million tag right now. Sorry, I had to joke a little bit. Maybe come week 4, week 5, he's like, producing like he was last year. You can get, solid capital for him. The fact that you or maybe you can even echo that with Harold Fannin. Like you can trade one of those tight ends realistically and be fine too.
Yeah, like let's go down to the purgatory teams as we do here. This is a 10-team league. It is a start 9, 10-teamer, no tight end premium. So, those guys are going to be a little bit less value in a 10-teamer.
Doesn't have his one.
Not a tight end premium.
Hey, that guy doesn't have his one. Do you have this guy's one? Please go up to your picks or Ramzic's picks.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, baby.
I would imagine this guy thinks he's competing realistically. But given that you're in a no rush situation, you can go after his 28-1. Hey, you don't really have a quarterback 3. I can give you Baker Mayfield plus Jalen Waddle. And you can give me a young receiver or whatever, plus give me Omar Cooper in your 28-1. And I'll give you Baker Mayfield and Jalen Waddle, and they'll help you compete or whatever the case is.
I think he would be less like to prioritize maybe the worst. Like, what is worst total working with? Or worst total, whatever the fuck.
Worst total, yeah.
Like he's only got one relevant quarterback, and he's got like McCaffrey and stuff. You go get this guy's one in 2028 even, because he might be saying,
Baker and Shuck, very appealing assets to this person for sure. He also has some hole at running back too. So you could, if you want to move off of Javonte Williams as well, because you're not really ready to compete yet, you could probably package Baker Mayfield plus Javonte Williams into this guy and go, hey, give me your 27-1 and your 28-1. You're competing. You don't need those assets. Baker's worth about a late 1 and Javonte's worth about a late 1. Maybe he thinks his picks are late.
I mean, heck, you could even go the route of saying, hey, take Baker, Aiden Higgins, give me Concepcion in your 27 first or something like that. Like,
he needs a run. I'm sure he would be motivated to trade for Javonte and Baker just based on his roster and based on the fact that he thinks he's probably competing. So whatever it takes for you to get this guy's 27-1 and his 28-1, I think that would make a lot of sense, especially, 2 years, like maybe this year, that's a mid to late 1, but next year, what if McCaffrey's not in the league anymore? And all of a sudden he doesn't have his 28 first. And you have a guy who's projecting for like the 104, 105 in 2028. And you're reaping the benefits at that point. So again, we're throwing out some trade offers just to give you an idea. We'll obviously give you more detail in the actual 2.0 that we do for you. The other thing too is, again, anybody that you can pivot into young players, I would be looking to do that. Like Caleb Williams on this guy's team, for example. Guy's in purgatory. Maybe he thinks there's a lot of people out there that are not super high on Caleb Williams. Maybe you offer this guy, I'll give you Baker Mayfield, Javonte Williams, and T. Higgins. All 3 of them for Caleb Williams. You need to compete. Baker's a good quarterback. You get a competitive running back at Javonte Williams, and you get T. Higgins. Again, you and I would scoff at that offer. But some people are not super high on Caleb. Some people don't understand, hey, the elite asset that Caleb Williams is the important part there.
You could try for sure. Also, Sugundi's, Midu, and what was the other one? Sugundi's, Midu,
Brownie Lover.
Brownie Lover. Okay, that's good. Where's Midu?
Midu is number 4.
Okay. So one
10-team league for what it's worth too. Yeah. So even every first is going to be top 10.
So one about mid to late first, one about mid first, and one early first is what the extra first is what he has. Okay.
Give or take. Yeah. And then his first will probably be mid as well.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, who knows? Maybe go up and see his team again. I just want a reminder. I don't necessarily think it's guaranteed to be mid. Like I do think even if you don't make a contending move, even if like you made moves hypothetically to tool your window into next year on, like even if you did that, I think you could still luck into it and win this year.
You could. And that's why I said there's a lot of flexibility here. Even though I'm talking about maybe trading Mayfield, trading Javonte, trading T. Higgins, and turning it into an elite quarterback, and maybe you lose a first-round pick in the process to get that done. That's one avenue you could take. Or you could just be like, screw it, I'm just going to see what happens this season. And if Tutin's breaking out and Javonte's having another great season, Baker's having a bounce back, you could very easily win with the team as currently constructed. I'm just focused on how do I get this team from really solid into a Thanos, because I think it's very easily convertible into a Thanos if you make like a quarterback upgrade and then, keep most of your picks and whatnot.
And the beauty of it, because we're talking about how do we make this into a legitimate Thanos? How do we make this into the monster in the league? If you wanted to say, hey, fuck it, I went 8-6 last year and I have picks, like I want to go win right now. Like, I also don't think that's bad either.
No.
Like, you're in a position with this team where no matter the decision you make, it's a right decision. You just have to commit to it. That's the thing. Don't make moves one way and then another way and then like have no direction. Just make sure any move that you make is calculated and it's fitting the process that you determined early in the season that you want to take.
Yeah, it sounds like he traded Lamb to this guy because he mentioned selling Lamb in the blurb. But if this guy wanted to give you Bijan and Herbert for 4 first-round picks, including his own, you could do it.
Yeah.
You could do it. If you really wanted to, you could do it. I don't think he will because, like I said, I think he traded Lamb from you. But I do think there's so much flexibility, so many open-ended opportunities to do whatever you need to do on this team. So we could probably move on. Anything else that he has listed here? Again, he said he's lost on what to do. The good news is you have the asset flexibility and the even contention flexibility to go whatever direction you want.
And real quick, Ramzic, like obviously, is this a 2.0 Corey? You said? Okay, so this 2.0 in the 2.0, like we'll have, the 3 decisions for you to make. But realistically, you mentioned, I don't know what to do. You don't need to do anything yet. You really don't. You've already accumulated so much asset value. You already accumulated so much future pick value to the point where I wouldn't make any of the moves till in season. You have the luxury of being able to pay an extra premium with the hindsight knowledge of what's been going on, as opposed to some people who may not have as much capital to work with have to make kind of like, let's just say like a gamble type of move.
You got to take that risk on Marvin Harrison or that risk on Tootin or whatever to be able to go and compete if you're looking to do that. So we can move on to the next team here. BabyChrisyyyyy here, just a regular live DD.
We smell like shit.
Crazy. We smell like shit, apparently. Getting Love with the first pick. So he has the 101. He's going to take Jeremiah Love. He says, hoping to land Lemon at 5, but really depends on who's there. And you're going to be looking at either Lemon or Tyson or possibly Mendoza as well, or Price if you wanted to go in that direction. And said, I have 2 firsts in each of 2027 and in 2028 as well. So it doesn't show his 2028 capital, but he does have an extra first in that class as well.
Where is MV3's 1? I already see right off the bat. So 105 this past year. And he's probably about a
probably a competitive team. If I sort by contending rankings and we take that verbatim, we're looking at a 111 there. Or sorry, it's a 10-team league. So it's 107, I guess.
He's the third contender, MV3.
Yeah, 108, give or take.
Yeah, give or take. I think that makes a lot of sense. Realistically, the last thing to fill out on this team, you're going to be adding Jeremiah Love. More than likely at the 105, you're going to take whoever falls between Lemon, Tate, and Tyson, ideally. I mean, I guess the doomsday scenario is all 3 of those receivers go and Mendoza's there. But even still on this team, I think you could use a Mendoza. At that point, maybe you make CJ Stroud or Malik Willis expendable. Like, I think whoever falls between the 3 receivers and Mendoza, you just pick, figure it out after. 201.
So one caveat is that this is a 10-team league. I would take Price over Mendoza in a 10-team league.
That's reasonable, actually. I didn't actually see the context about the 10. That makes sense.
Yeah, I would personally take Price over Mendoza if that's the case. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully Lemon falls to you because that's the best case scenario here. Or even Tyson falls to you as well. But yeah, this team's pretty well set up to be in a house money window, I would say. Like, you got a young team, Lawrence, Stroud, Genty, Love, Tootin, McConkey. Let's say it's Lemon or Tyson, and then Burden and Gadsden and whatnot. Really young team. Maybe trim the fat off of it, like Godwin, those type of guys. Like, if you're not ready to compete right away, there's no reason to hold a player like that. But also, it depends on what you're getting for them. Because the other thing too is, like he said, he has an extra 27 first, which projects to be mid to late. He has an extra 28 first, which I don't know if he got that from MV3 as well. He didn't say. But having that extra pick liquidity gives you the ability to go, all right, well, I'm 7-1 this year. McConkey's breaking out. Burden's breaking out. Lemon's rookie of the year right now. I can take my extra 28-1, my own 2027-1, and go buy low on Devon Achane because, he's got a hamstring injury or something like that.
Ultimately, though, I don't think this team is in any rush. Like, realistically, if I'm writing down the window.
I said if he's 7-1 or something like that in the season.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Because, like, if you sort by contending, right now he's number 10. So it's unlikely he'll be in that scenario. It's probably more likely that but he also doesn't have Love and Lemon on the roster right now. If he had Love and Lemon, I'm sure he'd be higher in the contending rankings.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Obviously, guys like Godwin, QJ, guys like that, realistically, maybe you're able to flip in season if you decide you're not competing. But either direction you go, the fact of the matter is you're under the purgatory teams in terms of contention status, which I think is a good thing because
where you want to be for sure. Yeah.
You get another 101 to this team. Not only are you strong rebuilder, you instantly turn into a juggernaut by the time the 2027 season rolls around.
Yeah.
Because I do think one anchor receiver is what this
2028
means.
capital, which he has an additional first in as well.
Well, like that's what I mean. Like you get Lemon, and then if you get one more receiver and you have a 4-stack of freaking Jeremiah Smith, Makai Lemon, Ladd McConkey, Luther, that's fucking lethal.
I mean, he's probably not going to get Jeremiah Smith. I think his team is too good for that.
Well, he's ranked number 10 contention.
He's not going to get Jeremiah Smith. He's got two guys below him. I guess it is a 12-team league. I thought it was a 10-team league. So I guess it is a 12-team league. These guys are lower than him in the analyzer. I would say he's probably looking at his own pick being somewhere between 103 to 106.
I'm sorry, because you mentioned 10.
I thought it was 10. That's my bad.
Okay, yeah, you're good. Yeah, okay, maybe it's not Jeremiah Smith. Maybe it's Cam Coleman at 104.
Yeah, and again, he has those extra picks. There's very much a wait and see approach. How is my team doing? What does Luther Burden look like? What does Ladd McConkey look like? Is Jeremiah Love breaking out right away? So on and so forth. If you really want to make a move at that point and go after a young asset, you could. If you want to just continue to be patient, potentially turn this into a Thanos one day, you could maybe do that as well. So that's something that I would definitely keep in mind, knowing that it's a 10-team league as well. CJ Stroud and Malik Willis are not needle-moving quarterback assets. One thing you could do additionally is CJ Stroud and Malik Willis, if there's a buying window on a quarterback early in the season, let's say, trying to think of an elite quarterback option. Let's say Jackson Dart isn't playing really well at the beginning of the season. You can upgrade from CJ Stroud to Jackson Dart for minimal, if anything. You can upgrade from CJ Stroud to, let's say, Brock Purdy for minimal upgrade. Maybe you can upgrade from CJ Stroud all the way up to Justin Herbert because he's injured or something like that for minimal additional upgrade as well. That would be something I would be looking to do too, just because it is a 12-team, like I said, in a 12-team league, you are still going to want better production at the quarterback position than CJ Stroud and Malik Willis. And like I said earlier in the stream too, I'm not very high on Malik Willis, the asset, if you're not competing, which to me, you're not competing. So I would be looking to get off of Malik Willis to a competitive team.
Yeah, no doubt. But I mean, overall, very, very good spot. No need to rush the process with this team because obviously you're number 3 in the analyzer. You have the future capital. Just, again, wait and see where you're kind of going. Like if you're starting the season strong, you want to make a move to be able to get more point equity, go ahead and do that. If it's in the inverse and you realize, hey, maybe I'm 2-4, I'm a year away from competing, which again, 2-4 would still be a big step considering you started the year 3-11 this past year.
Oh, absolutely.
Then at that point, it's like, okay, Ladd looks really good. And he jumped up to top 12 wide receiver status in Dynasty, and he's producing a lot. Could you get, Ladd plus a Godwin and get two future first of liquidity at that point too? Yeah,
you might be able to do that. You might be able to do that.
Would make sense too. Gadsden, like anybody like that.
Yeah, for sure. And to answer Pete's question here, will our first initial redraft rankings and redraft content should be coming late this week, early next week, I would say. And best ball drafts will obviously be starting to roll those as well. And we're gonna have some big announcements coming for the Flock League very soon as well. So yeah, redraft. I would say once the calendar hits June, it's gonna be we're definitely gonna have about half redraft, half dynasty content kind of thing. So
for sure.
Let's keep it rolling here. Moving on to the next team we have from Arthur. Not a brag team. I don't think he said, mind if I get a 2.0 for this one? Arthur, did you use a 2.0 voucher? I guess he probably didn't use his voucher for a 2.0 when he renewed his annual, and maybe this is the one he wants the 2.0 for, I'm assuming.
So I'll remember that.
I can just put a note in here, needs a 2.0.
Oh yeah, or just add his name to the queue or something.
I just typed it in the chat there, but yeah, I'll add it to the queue. So Danny, this is a league that you and I are both in. It's Don't Give a Flock, and
funny enough, if you my team and like I would argue this is one of my worst situation teams is this league, and I'm number 3 in the analyzer.
I also would argue it's one of my worst situations because I'm number 8 in the analyzer, but I have good competitive assets. I just made a couple of trades tearing down from George Pickens and tearing down from Jalen Hurts in this league because I needed some receiver firepower. I ended up getting Igbuka and McConkey to do those trades and whatnot.
Yeah, I was trying to sell Nico, but everybody's like waiting on their picks right now. I'm like, oh fuck.
I had a good trade for you on the table for Nico that you didn't want to do.
I didn't need George Pickens though. I want pick liquidity.
Anyway,
like I don't want points.
I had my annual a week before the 2.0 was
so
we can do a 2.0 for you there.
We got you. fuck, I'm going to probably be suggesting you some of the moves that I'm looking for. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, literally. So this team, very good shape so far. I mean, you're a little weak at the running back position from a competitive angle. And you are a little bit weak on wide receiver depth. And obviously I made the deal with him, or did I make the deal with him to get Pickens?
Yeah.
Somebody else traded Pickens recently?
No, you traded Pickens for somebody, and then he traded for Pickens from somebody.
Or no, I traded him for Pickens because he gave me McConkey in the deal, I'm pretty sure.
Was it? No, I thought Pickens got traded twice.
Hold on. Let me take a look.
I'm like very sure Pickens got traded twice.
I swear I got McConkey in the deal for Pickens, and I'm pretty sure he had McConkey before. No, he didn't. Okay. Oh, yeah. So from Ryland gave me Baker, Hubbard, Freiermuth, and McConkey for Pickens, a third, and a 28 second. That's what happened. And then I ended up trading away Jalen Hurts in a deal involving Igbuka as well. So anyways, continuing on with Arthur's team. His question here is mind if I get a 2.0? We obviously can. Yep. Let me know what you think of my big Bijan trade and how do I become a spicy house money team?
Yeah, so what was the Bijan trade? I'm trying to remember
right now. So his Bijan trade was he got Bijan, Pickens, QJ, and Jacoby Brissett in exchange for JSN, Ty Simpson, my first, and Hoyt's first, who I believe won the league.
Yes.
And a third. So 2 mid to late projected ones in 2027. Ty Simpson, JSN, for Bijan, Pickens, QJ, Brissett. And there was a third on the other side, but it doesn't really matter.
Seems fair.
Yeah, I mean, JSN and Bijan, basically a wash.
Yeah, maybe you add like a tiny bit there. Because
then essentially it's Ty Simpson, 2 1s and a 3 for Pickens, QJ, and Brissett.
Yeah.
The 2 late ones, give or take, is for me about even for Pickens. It's QJ and Brissett for Ty Simpson and a third, which is about fair. I'd say like slight overpay on Bijan, maybe a little bit.
Knowing that you're acquiring the point equity and then your team, you still have Bowers, you still have London, you still have, I would say definitely if you can maneuver to more contending quarterbacks, it'd probably be your next bet.
Well, Brock said in the chat he wants Burrow from me in this league. I mean we can craft a Burrow trade together here if you want.
Hey, I'm not trading for Burrow anytime soon, so let's see what you guys can cook up here. I mean, Joe Burrow would probably be the only asset going back, I would say, just because what else would you get? Like, it would probably be some type of package with Burrow.
This Mendoza, is a flattened league, man. Like when I look at the bars of this league,
it's insane.
Like, look how flat this is, man. Nobody's really pulling away with this thing. Like, was it Cruise Control that won the league last year? Or was it Shuck one?
And Hoyt.
Shuck
right? Ones. Yeah, he's all in.
So he won the league last year, and you look at his team and you go, well, he's got some weaknesses like Daniel Jones, Stafford, Shuck. You'd ideally want a better quarterback core than that. Like, he had good production last year, but his team is not like, going to repeat guaranteed or anything. So this is a league that is actually quite close across the board.
If you go up, so show Cruise Control real quick. So he's got Trevor Lawrence, I believe. My team name is Friends of Trev, because if you click into mine, I have BTJ and Travis Hunter here. Click it real quick.
Yeah.
I have BTJ and Travis Hunter. So I was trying to see if I can down tier from Caleb into Trevor Lawrence, but again, nobody wants to make a big move right now. I don't like. Arthur found one, so good for him. But
I made 2 big moves in this league recently.
Man, everything that I've been messaging, nobody wants to make one with me right now. So I guess I'm gonna have to.
Maybe it's your offers.
No, I mean, I'll read some of them. They were good.
Yeah. Anyways, getting back to Arthur's team, his question was, how do I become a spicy house money team? I think personally, you're a Willis guy. So if you're a Willis guy, I think you already view yourself as having 2 quarterback options. I do not. I'm not a Willis guy. So I would say that I would be looking to move off of Willis, but I know you like him. This team is best ball, this league as well. So having a lack of wide receiver and running back depth is a bigger problem in this league than it would be in a regular managed league. Like your 4th receiver is QJ. Your 5th receiver is Chris Bell. Your 3rd running back is Damon Claiborne. Like, I don't think this team is a house money team anytime soon, personally. Like, I think that you need a lot of depth at the positions of, the flex positions to be better in this situation.
Well, I have some more context for you. I have some insider stuff here. But, I mean, Arthur just asked me about Tootin. Like, we could try to craft a Tootin deal if you want to work through that.
Yeah, you go in that direction for sure.
Yeah, let me know.
I don't know. If this was your team, take out the fact that we're in this league for 1 second.
Yeah.
If this was your team, are you thinking, how do I get this to house money? Because I don't know if I would have made the Bijan trade, to be honest with you.
I don't know if I would have either.
Because you had the 2 ones of liquidity built up.
But I guess the
JSN and London and those guys, like I would have just held, I think.
But I don't disagree, but I guess the counterpoint would be you just mentioned how flat the league is. If Arthur wants to go and try to win it, like I don't like Bijan, obviously big hammer, London Pickens hammers, Bowers hammer. Like I see the vision for either way. I'm a little bit more of a pussy where like I need to see like so much before I make a commitment.
Yeah.
But if you're like, fuck it, this league's so open, so many teams who are all in don't have their picks. The other teams are more balanced situations. Like, yeah, I don't mind it at all.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair if you don't want to tank it out twice. In that situation, I mean, if you can get Joe Burrow for your 27-1, your 28-1 and a piece or something from Brock, like you're gonna have to give up probably KC and 2 1s, right? Give or take for Burrow.
I think you can get some like competing stuff back with that, but yeah.
Yeah, well, like
let's just say like it's KC and 2 1s.
He has T as well. He has Kyler. He has, he has some competitive assets that you could maybe try and get back.
Could you get like T and Jonathan Brooks thrown into that deal?
Yeah. So Burrow, let's actually let's use the trade feature here. So if you want to get Burrow, plus T, plus Brooks, you need to at minimum give up your 27-1, which if you're going for it, is probably gonna be late.
Yeah.
Your 28-1, probably also gonna be late for ease sake.
And
Casey Concepcion probably got to be part of this deal, I would imagine.
Probably.
And then, I mean, Brock is on here, so this is not really good.
Well, keep in mind too, it's very competitive. So like having as like it's probably more mid to late because like you could end up
let's make the 28-1 mid, and to make it
for
even,
ease sake,
a little bit more even.
We'll just make that mid for even.
Yeah, just because let's say 1 is mid and 1 is late, kind of thing.
Yeah,
we don't know which one it'll be. And then maybe you got to give up a mid second, I guess. I don't know. Like I'm trying to think of how we can balance this. It's going to take a little bit
more in here.
Yeah, like maybe you take Brooks out of this deal and it's just Higgins and Burrow as well.
Yeah.
And like Brock in his situation is looking for pick liquidity. Maybe he's looking for more of an, like he has to sell for 95 cents on the dollar a little bit in that regard, or maybe you throw.
And also for what it's worth, you also have Concepcion like relatively lower than consensus too.
Yeah,
like
I do. Yeah, I do. But yeah, just spitballing some trades there. That is something that I would look to explore if you're looking to compete. I frankly wouldn't have done the Bijan trade, but it's obviously too late for that. So I would have been 1 more year of patience and then probably tried to go for it in 2027, knowing that this league is so close and so competitive. You probably could have been by far the best team in the league by 2027. But you said you didn't want to tank 2 years of the startup, so I get it.
Yeah, no, I respect it. I mean, yeah,
this league is hard, man. I'm looking at my own roster doing the same thing, being like, man, like I look at your team, you're like, okay, well, I got to tear down from Drake May or Caleb Williams to make things work. I got to sell off Nico Collins if I'm rebuilding. And then I look at my team as a true competitor where I have none of my picks in 2027 or in 2028, where I'm like, I got to win ASAP.
I think everybody has to make decisions.
Everybody's got to make tough decisions here. Like, again, because this league is so close, when I sort by contending, the contending teams pop up a little bit more, like myself, for example. But then you also have teams that are all in. You have teams like Mike's team that has some just absolute wagon type of assets. But that
was the other thing too.
So depth matters a little bit more too.
So I was talking with Mike from my own perspective, and I literally said to him, I'm like, I would give you Nico Collins, but knowing how like you're clearly at this point the best team. You're coming off a 12-2 year. You made the championship last year. I told him, like, knowing that it's probably going to be 110 to 112, I probably need both your ones for Collins, and I maybe throw you another piece, like small piece back.
Yeah,
and like that's just it's kind of where it needs to be at. And
unless he wanted to go, I'll give you. Unless he was like, I'll give you Bo Nix in my first for like if he made you a deal, it was like Bo Nix and both of my next 2 firsts for Collins and Caleb Williams, or maybe Bo Nix plus his 2 1s plus something else for Caleb Williams and both of his firsts or something. I don't know.
Can you go back to Arthur's team?
Yeah.
Like realistically, if I was to give you Caleb Williams, I would at least need Fernando and the 2 1s and probably more. I'm not gonna lie, because I have Caleb as like a legitimate top 8 to 10 startup asset.
Yeah,
and knowing that those picks are going to be mid to late, like that's where I would probably.
This is going to be a very interesting league. I think ultimately, like you said, I think Mike and maybe potentially Shuck ones are in pretty good position to go back to the championship because they were the 2 teams to the championship last year. But
I mean, heck,
could be
if
very
I
interesting.
if I go back to Arthur's team again, just because I mean, let's make a deal. I'm obviously I'm a little biased here because I can get in here, but Mendoza, the 2-1s, and Concepcion, and I give you back Caleb and a more contending piece. So like, go to my team. I wouldn't give Nico in that, but like,
Tuden
would make sense. Yeah, Tuden's
the one that makes sense.
Tuden or BTJ probably, but yeah, something like that. Probably Tuden.
Yeah. And then him and Brock are talking in the chat here as well. A Mendoza for
let me plug
Mendoza
that
for Burrow type of deal would also make some sense if it's Mendoza plus the 27 first and the 28 first. Does that get you Burrow and Higgins? Mendoza and 2-1s? Maybe
No.
Mendoza 2-1s and a 2?
I doubt it. Especially too, Brock's also saying this.
Yeah, this league is hard, man. This league is hard to figure out. That's why, like, the deals that I made, where I was like, I got CJ Stroud, Jaden Higgins, and Emeka Egbuka for Jalen Hurts and Chuba Hubbard. I was like, I feel like I've been one of the only deals that has made sense for me so far in this entire league's history, because everybody in this league is sharp. Nobody wants to give up too much value. Everybody's pretty much a site subscriber, so they're using the trade calculator. Like, a lot of the deals that have gone through have been almost dead even for everybody.
Yeah, like if I take I'm gonna try to concoct you an offer. I need to plug it in first, Arthur. So what was it?
We probably need to keep going here on this on these reviews, because we do have some more. But yeah, if you want to concoct some offers on the back end, we'll bring them back up if we come to them. But yeah, Arthur, if I had to give you a piece of advice, and we'll give you more obviously in the 2.0, I would say if you think you can compete, then you probably should commit fully to doing that and deal some of your picks, at least in 2027. Maybe not in 2028 as well, but if you can deal some of your 2027 picks, go get a hammer running back, get another quarterback option, find a team like Brock's, who is very motivated to get off of competitive assets and see if you can get something done. Like, yeah, Brock gave me Chase Brown for a 28 first. And in hindsight, I wish I got something else back too. But even still, though, like, helped your competitive or your rebuild window. Like, yeah, find a team like Brock's, find a team like RK Schmidt, who I made a deal with, getting off of
I guess I on my phone.
Yeah, you can definitely make some moves still. It's just going to be challenging given the parity in this league specifically. So Nappy resubmitted his team, so I'll just hit next question here.
Yeah. Also, so Arthur, I will send you an offer. Feel free to get back to me in the DMs, but that just stemmed off the fact that you asked for Tuden. I actually literally just plugged in the Caleb plus Tuden for Concepcion, 2 firsts, and Mendoza, and it actually comes out exactly fair. So I will I'll send that over to you. You can parse through it.
Yeah. All right. So I just skipped over Nappy's team, but I'll go to it first because he did submit it. He just resubmitted. So Nappy here, just a regular live DD. I just bought the team review bundle, then got promoted to upgrade Motherflocker for another 18, paid 110 for the reviews, and the Motherflocker was 97, I think. Did the Motherflocker replace the bundle deal? I didn't want to drop $200 here. I'll double check what happened for you there, Mike. It looked here. I'll double check on my end here, Danny. If you want to, where's the logo?
Oh, this was what Zach was complaining about in the dev chat. I'm pretty sure.
Is it
that it says you can upgrade to a Motherflocker and get a free team review, pretty much like extra, like
recent purchases.
I remember he was talking about something in this regard, like $18 upgrade in the chat. So
okay, so Mike, on our end, all it shows that you paid for is an annual Motherflocker package. You did not get charged for the bundle, from what I see.
Yeah, let me take.
So you got an annual Motherflocker package, but I did not see the bundle.
So this is what Zach said. Where is it?
Also,
it's a bug. It will be fixed, is what Tom said in the chat, because Zach's initial thing. He won a voucher on my live stream yesterday for a team review and sent me the screenshot asking me if he can upgrade to an annual membership based on the pop-up we gave him. And there's a pop-up right now that basically says like upgrade to a membership for $18.
So even if it's a gifted team review?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll confirm on my end. I'll stick with the Motherflocker. Yeah. Again.
Okay. Mike, I'm just making sure because I know that Zach was talking about that. May 21st is when it was posted in the site.
So Mike, you used a live DD for your annual Motherflocker. Did you mean to do a 2.0? Because it looks like you used a regular live DD for that. Just let me know what message it gave you, because I saw one other person had this issue as well, and I think it involved upgrading. Like if you were a subscriber already and you upgraded to an annual Motherflocker, it didn't actually give you the 2.0. So just let me know what came up on your end of the screen there. Moving into Nappy's team or Cappy's team, sorry. Love Island had a startup draft for this team this year, finished in 4th. I meant to use the live. Okay, that's fine.
Also, Arthur, I sent it to you.
Really like where I'm at, but my running backs are lacking. I've got tons of wide receivers I'm willing to move. Do I mortgage some future picks and go all in on running back, hold and see how this year goes? Need honest feedback. Well, we can give you that. We've been very honest with people today. So he's asking basically, do I go all in on my running backs? He's got an extra 28-1 of liquidity built up. This is a new startup, right? Startup draft last year. So generally it's still a pretty new-ish league. Like when you look at the contending bars here, they're all quite close, at least at the top. Would you look at a team like this and go, yeah, I want to get running back points. I want to get running back production, use my 27 first, my extra 28 first, et cetera, pivot off of a Garrett Wilson, pivot off of a Luther Burden, pivot off of even a CeeDee Lamb or a St. Brown for a competitive running back. Would that be your initial thought with a team like this?
Yeah, if you can get some running back points and it doesn't cost you too much from the value end in terms of maneuvering a receiver, I would definitely do that. Whether it's a cheaper deal in terms of like the Jameson Williams type, or
this
whether you
a good example right here.
Yeah, this guy has a lot of running backs
or like Garrett Wilson plus for Hampton, CeeDee Lamb for Hampton plus back, something like that.
Like, could you get go back up to his team? I mean, could you get Hampton plus ETN for CeeDee Lamb and fucking DeJohn dribbling, maybe, given where he goes in rookie drafts sometimes?
If you gave him JMO and CeeDee Lamb, would you do that?
What about
Hampton and Hall for JMO and CeeDee Lamb?
Oh, yeah, I would do that.
Yeah, that would maybe make some sense if this guy's thinking, hey, my running back core is a wagon. I want to upgrade at wide receiver. We know, though, like generally people like to have great running back cores in most dynasty leagues that you guys are going to be in. People don't want to give up a ton of running backs. The other thing that you could do is just trade for Breece Hall. Like, I'd be willing to trade in your situation, jet for jet, maybe get a plus on top of it even too. This guy already has Hampton, Walker, and ETN. Would he give you Hall plus for Garrett Wilson? Not a significant plus, I would imagine, but Hall plus for Garrett Wilson. Would that interest you if you were in his position?
Hall plus Garrett Wilson for
all for Garrett Wilson. He has Garrett Wilson. Garrett's his third best receiver, and he has depth behind him. Hall, maybe
you get a little plus given the discrepancy in market.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a Hall plus a small piece for Garrett Wilson. The other thing,
like get a fucking Jacoby Myers or something.
Like he has his own 27-1. He has an extra 22. He has two 28-1s. Like you could just use picks instead of using your competitive assets as well.
Yeah, I mean overall, like the fact that you are coming off a 9-5 year, the fact that you're number 3 in the analyzer, that you have all your picks pretty much. He said how to start up draft for this team last year. Oh, you scroll down to mid-read, finished 4th. Really like where I'm at. Okay, so pretty much exactly what we've been saying. I wasn't sure if there was any other context that he had in this message.
Yeah, I would be willing to make 2 moves for a running back here and go into the season with that being the case. Like, let's say it costs you Garrett for Hall and a 2. Let's say you get Hall and a 2 for Garrett, for example. You have Hall and a 2 on this team instead of Wilson. What you could do is then take your 27 first. You have an extra 2, an extra first and 28. You could take 2 1s and a 2 and go down to one of these teams down at the bottom and go, hey, I got 2 1s and a 2. Would you give me James Cook plus? Would you give me Devon Achane? Would you give me et cetera? Maybe
you work up to like a Genty or something like that. Yeah, like somebody in that range.
This guy's got Jeremiah Love. 2 1s and a 2. Does that get you Jeremiah Love given his running back?
This would also be another guy that if you wanted to move
pivot Lamb for Love's great. You could also probably do that.
Yeah, or even still straight up a receiver for Chase Brown or straight up a receiver for Cam Scottaboo. Like that's another target of a guy that you can look at. I mean, Jeremiah Love, like you said, would be the prime target because that would be really nice to head your RB core with a true hammer.
Yeah. So Samas NYJ. Jets fan, so Garrett's going to be interested. I'm assuming he's a Jets fan. He's got NYJ and he has Breece Hall on his team, so he's probably interested in Garrett. Go reach out to him and see if he's inclined to move a running back, and then the Wayne here with Jeremiah Love, Chase Brown, Jadarian Price, and Cam Scottaboo. See if he's interested in dealing a running back. I'm sure you've already done this just based on your question. You said, should I try and go in all in on running back, etc. You have flexibility. You can use picks. The other thing is, too, you and I are not high on RJ Harvey, but there might be a guy in your league that is. If one of those 2 guys is high on RJ Harvey, maybe all it costs you to get, let's say, Jeremiah Love is RJ Harvey and your 27 and 28-1.
Yeah,
You don't
I
have to
mean,
give up Lamb. You don't have to give up Garrett Wilson for him. And maybe you move off of a guy like RJ Harvey's a little bit riskier, and you get up to a guy like Jeremiah Love who's a lot safer.
I mean, definitely try. Like it might be tough to swing something like that, but if you can find the Harvey truther and peddle him the rose-colored glasses, like wow, he's got the highest draft investment. They only used a 4th rounder on a guy who ran in the 4-6. Like play it up,
You have Coleman and Harvey too, and I would personally rather take a stance on that backfield than to have both of them. And I
don't like
Coleman.
the double condom.
Yeah, I prefer Coleman. So that's why I would
Yeah.
sell Harvey while his value is still high. And Mike said too, I'm seeing them other Flocker Amex showing. Yeah, obviously, if you want to purchase a bundle, you can do that at a different time. And now that you're an annual Mother Flocker, you actually get it for cheaper. So if after we get to your review today and future reviews, you can obviously go ahead and do that. But I think this is, in terms of honest feedback, you're building a pretty strong looking team here. The only thing that I'm a little bit worried about is because you have older quarterbacks, you are kind of a little bit more on a time crunch than I would want to be. You kind of do need to compete at least next year, but probably this year, given that Dak and Love are a little bit up there in age.
How many do we have left? I'm starving.
We have 4 more after this one.
Okay.
So we got to keep it rolling here.
We got to rip.
So yeah, I would say just keep that in mind that you have a quarterback core that's a little bit up there in age. You probably want to be a little bit more proactive, a little bit more aggressive using your picks this year, but don't overpay. Make sure to use the calculator. Make sure you're getting good value. But if you can add, let's say you get a deal done for Breece Hall and you get a deal done for Jeremiah Love, then all of a sudden this team is going to be in a competitive window. So we can keep it going here. Let's move back up to Think Fast, Run Fast, just because I skipped over his. Ended last year as a week. Is this the same goddamn league?
Same fucking league.
Okay, so we can keep this a little bit more brief because we've already talked about this league ad nauseum. Like we said, very competitive league, very close league, couple of contending teams. Think Fast, Run Fast, RK here is one of the actual few kind of rebuilding teams that's in this league. He's number 12 in the analyzer as a strong rebuilder. He just made a trade to go acquire JSN, just made a trade also to acquire Ty Simpson, who's his only quarterback on his roster. He got my first, which projects to be probably mid to late. Chuck one's first, who won the league last year, mid to late first again. And then he also has an additional 2028 first as well.
Yeah, no, overall, I mean, you knew what your goal was. You're trying to rate production. I'm assuming at this point, you're probably going to try to down tier from JSN, knowing how proactive you would like to be. And then at that point, if you can down tier from JSN, maybe you get something along the lines of 3.5 first of equivalent value would probably be about the price tag. 3.5 first of equivalent value for JSN.
Someone gives you give JSN and a 2 for Tedero and McMillan and 2 1s or something. Like, again, this might be challenging to get in this league based on you and I having problems dealing for players in this league ourselves.
Like, I don't think you're going to be able to do something anytime soon, because trust me, I have tested the trade waters. I have messaged every single team with an all-in label, with a strong contender label, with a fucking balance label for that matter. Hell, even fucking it won't go anywhere if I reached out to Brock, but like I would reach out to him like, hey, what are you thinking? He's like, nah, I'm trying to get everybody off my team. He once I saw his thing was what was it, sucking for Smith? I'm like, probably not going to get anywhere there. It is very tough to make a move and try to get first off of people at this point in the market. Like just from experience.
No, it is very challenging. And I could actually, because I'm in the league, I can pull up this tab really quick, because on the side you can see the deals that he's made. I'm clicked into his team. So you could see that he made the deal, JSN, Ty Simpson, 2 1s and a 3 for Pickens, Bijan, etc. And then he made the deal with me where I gave him Pickens, a 3 and a 2 in exchange for Baker,
that's what happened.
Chuba Hubbard, Freiermuth, and Ladd McConkey. I thought that was a deal that made sense for both sides. You can see, again, the analyzer is right in the middle for pretty much both of these trades. And then this is the deal that he made with Arthur earlier this week.
What was the 26
2 weeks ago? He ended up getting 26-1 and Ladd McConkey for Ladd McConkey or for Drake London and Javonte Williams there.
I don't think that was the Carnell Tate pick. Probably the Sadiq pick, I would assume.
Probably the Sadiq pick, I would imagine. Is probably the one that he got there. Because other first that it probably wasn't the Carnell Tate pick. It was probably the Sadiq pick that he got there.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But yeah, moving back to his questions, he said, curious if there's any other moves to make here. Did I take the teardown too far? I mean, given that all of us
wait, that was Tate?
That was Tate. Wow. Okay. So, I guess that makes sense. Drake London and Javonte Williams, Drake London versus Tate, a little bit of a down tier. Javonte versus Ladd, a little bit of an up tier there. I think that makes sense.
Because I was confused when I looked at my team, like it favored like heavily, like
I think it's just because it says 26 first and not 26 102.
Because knowing the knowledge that that's Tate, I actually really like that deal.
Yeah. Again, to answer his question, did I take the teardown too far? No, I don't think he
doing
did,
it how
because
it
like I
should
just
be.
said, other than you
Corey.
and Brock, a lot of us think we're competing this year by the looks of it.
Corey, if you're tearing it down, I don't want fucking people with a pulse in my starting lineup. I want to be starting fullbacks. I want to be starting fourth tight ends. I want to be starting. I mean, Ty Simpson as your quarterback 1 and no quarterback 2 is a very good start to tanking points. Tank as many points because, hey, guess what? I probably shouldn't be saying this because I want fucking Jeremiah Smith, but you should be tanking for Jeremiah Smith. And how do you do that? You don't get
this is your competition here once Brock sells off some of these
start by
players.
contending. I'm terrified I'm going to end up as 104.
You're not 104. You're 109.
Sorry, I mean with like the 4th pick, which would be about 109. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're ending up as the 104. There. So you're in good shape so far, Rylan. So one thing that you can do is, like Danny mentioned, maybe tier down from JSN. But given that this league is so close and nobody is like by far and away the best team in this league, your best bet would probably be to go to like Mike here and see how possible it would be to tier down from somebody to get, JSN onto his team. But given his assets, I don't think he's really got anything that makes sense for you, to be honest. No. So it's going to be challenging to sell a guy like JSN and tier down from him, just because nobody's really in the market of tiering up using pick capital, because nobody is flush with assets.
The issue I found with Mike, and nothing of his fault, because obviously he put himself in such a great position for this to even be the case. All of his actual players are contending assets, and his picks I can't value as anything better than the 110.
Yeah,
just because of how good his team is. So it's like, even though I want to make this deal with you, it might look expensive on sticker price, but I'm doing it acknowledging that there's no upside of his pick being like 106. I get lucked out with. Like I told him that straight up in the DMs. I'm like, on face value, 2-1 straight up for fucking Collins might seem expensive, but like the fact that I can't project maybe upside, you're in the 106 range, I have to be at this price tag.
Yeah. Totally. And this is going to be a 2.0 for Rylan as well. So this is something that we're going to have to come up with deal potential options for him. But the only course of action that I see is collecting more capital and trading off of players. Like Carnell Tate, obviously a building block for you. He's a 21-year-old wide receiver. Tyler Warren and Kenyon Sadiq, I think it stands out pretty clearly. You'd ideally like to move off of Tyler Warren or a tight end of some kind, because you don't really want both of these guys. But it's going to be challenging to get a buyer on the tight end position as well. Like if I go to the contending rankings and see who's like weakest at tight end, maybe you can go to Chuck Ones and see if he wants to upgrade.
He's all in those, maybe no assets.
Yeah, again, Mike could upgrade from Jake Ferguson and Andrews, but he might not be willing to do that. This is an all-in team here.
Question.
Maybe
go to Mike.
Go from there. What's up?
Go back up to Mike. Like, do you think in Mike's position he'd be willing to give up the 27, 1 and 2 for Warren? Because I think that's probably about reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably want, in an ideal world, I'd want slightly more for Warren, but I do think
fair.
That's a fair offer potentially. Yeah.
Arthur, it's a product. There's no bias there. I mean, fuck. I have made team reviews with people in the league that have the same goals in mind as me and given them suggestions for what I'm trying to do, which literally hurts my own potential in the league. But if you guys are fucking paying for reviews in the league I'm in, I'm not going to lie and shortchange you guys.
Yeah. If I was being biased right now, I would tell Rylan, hey, I would like to tear down from Trey McBride. How about you give me Tyler Warren plus from it? But even though that's not going to help his team. So
Arthur, I figured I more so just mean like people might like think that like, oh shit, I'm in the league with them. I don't want to get like wrong. Like that's not how we think. Like at the end of the day, we're in leagues with you guys because maybe like A, first of all, like just we love fucking playing Dynasty. And B, also, like, we want to make sure that everybody's on the right track. That's why, like, when a weird deal goes down, like, we try to use it as an educational point most off. Like, you know, when you see, like, I'm not going to reference specific deals, but Corey knows what I'm thinking of.
Yes. One thing that you could maybe do here as well is, again, Jay Metal knows what he's doing. I'm sure he's, you know, in position here, but he has a lot of receivers. Maybe he'd be willing to pivot one of those receivers to lock down his tight end position long term, and you could sell Sadiq or Warren for one of the receivers on his team, whether it's, you know, Warren is like a little bit less valuable than T-Mac and Garrett Wilson, or Sadiq is a little bit similar in value to like an Odunze or a Lemon or something like that. Maybe you could pay Sadiq plus to get Lemon or something like that. Like there's an opportunity maybe for a guy like Jay Metal because he needs a tight end for the long term of his rebuild to maybe make a move with you. But again, rebuilders and contenders alike are going to have a challenging time making deals in this specific league just because everybody knows what they're doing and nobody wants to get screwed and everybody's using the calculator and pretty much every trade that's gone down has been dead even pretty much. So it's really going to come down to the regular season to get an edge, I would imagine, for a lot of the teams in this specific league. So let's keep it rolling here. We got 3 more reviews to get through and a trade question. Let's do the trade question first. I'm not sure why it won't let me add Joe Milton to the trade. Okay, well, I mean,
Joe Milton's a nothing burger.
Let's say he's on the QJ side just to be safe.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Like, Joe Milton is irrelevant in this.
Yeah.
Like,
Joe
why are we assigning him value?
I don't care. Yeah, Joe
should be on the wire
QJ side because otherwise, what side would it matter?
Give me the 2. This is too expensive for QJ, in my opinion.
Yeah, a 2027 class is very strong, so I generally would lean
mid to late 2, sure.
Yeah,
early to mid 2, no chance.
I love QJ. So part of me is like, I almost would pay this, just not a 2 in this. Like, I'd rather pay an early 2 in 2026. You know what I mean? Like to get QJ. But people might not do that because the class isn't very good. So in a vacuum, I think I'd rather have the random 2 early mid than QJ.
Brown and Purdy is funny.
Yeah, no kidding. Drake's on a plane here.
Ooh.
Thanos.
Hey, let's go, Kyle.
Here.
Whew.
That's a great receiver core. Okay.
Look at those fucking picks, baby.
Look at all those chickens. We have
hey, the other teams in this league are like, I give you my first, but I already dealt them, and they dealt them to you.
Yeah, literally. I'd give you my first, but I already dealt them. I'd give you my one. Finally a brag team indeed. Okay, so he tanked for Jeremiah Love.
Look at those.
I don't see Jeremiah Love on his team, so I don't. Maybe he moved him. Okay. Anyways, move 201 and AD Mitchell for Brian Thomas Jr. Great deal. Marv and Brian Thomas Jr. for Olave and a 27 first. Great deal.
Yeah.
Burrow and Tesla for London, a second, third, 101, 102. Holy shit. Okay, hold on. That's a different deal.
Oh.
Burrow and Tesla for London and a second and a 309.
Reasonable.
So, I mean, I think that's reasonable. Yeah. A second and 309 for Burrow for London's fair.
Wait, 101, 102 and Ward for JSN, Purdy, and a first. Okay. Let's break this down. 101 and Ward for JSN, probably
about even.
Given market value, like mid first versus early to mid second in a startup, give or take. Like I might lean the Ward and 101 side, like if I was making the deal, but I think that's probably what the market value
and 102
for Purdy and a first. Yeah. All day. This is how you become a Thanos.
Yeah, you're fleecing guys left, right, and
Your
center.
shed is active.
Yeah. So sold low on Lamb and Willis for a 27 first, second, and 28 first. I mean, that's not terrible. He said he won the league, but he might fall off now. So if that 28 first at least becomes early to mid, that'll help you recoup some value at least. Generally, all your trades are pretty much wins other than that one. And he said, like in the DMs, he said, like the value I got on the JSN deal, but in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have moved Love without a backup plan. And he said he can't get a running back off of anybody right now. He's having a hard time trading for a running back. He said Gibbs, Bijan, Hampton owners want me to move. Don't want to move them. Been trying to flip Olave for Brees, Cook, Price, etc., but no takers yet. He said, how much should I be willing to overpay? Well, unfortunately, you are the Thanos team. So you are going to have to overpay most likely because nobody wants to deal with you. They're going to look at your lineup and see JSN and Neighbors and London and McMillan and all those guys. And they're going to go, I don't want to fucking trade with this guy. So
I just want to say one thing. I'm sorry. So go to Hinking. I'm curious. Like, how bad of a team is it? Because the trade that I see there is a little bit lower than little low for me. Okay. Yeah.
He doesn't have his 27-1 or his 28-1, and he's got Stafford, Willis, etc. there.
So Corey, the reason why I ask is he said in the deal he traded him Lamb and he got the 27 and 28-1 from this guy.
Yeah. And he got a 2 as well.
Yeah. That's probably about even value, knowing that this guy's in such a bad position and knowing that, hey, like you could potentially use those ones at a later date for a running back.
In addition to Lamb. And Willis kind of helps him because he is weaker at quarterback.
Yeah, but I mean, even still, even if like this guy might actually have like an early to mid pick, which is why I'm comfortable with it, even though it's like low on sticker value.
Yeah, this is the way I look at this team is obviously you've addressed the elephant in the room already. I'm trying to get a running back too because I can't trade for X, Y, and Z. He said Hampton not going to be available, Bijan not going to be available, Gibbs not going to be available, and then he's reaching out to Brees, Cook, Price, etc. managers. Let's see if we can find a running back that wasn't mentioned. And craft a deal around one of those guys, just because he does obviously need a running back. I know you just dealt this guy Jeremiah Love, but I wouldn't be opposed to trying to just get Love back from him, because you did deal him other things.
Probably
involved in
impossible.
that deal. It might be impossible, but you did deal him other things in that deal. So maybe he's willing to give you back Love in a different trade, but probably not available, like you said. You could, because your team's in a position where you're so good everywhere else, you can dice roll on a Trevion Henderson, potentially. I'm not super high on Trevion Henderson, but because your team's in such good shape everywhere else, maybe you want to roll the dice on him.
Sort by worst wide receiver course.
Worst wide receiver cores.
Yeah, just click the button and then click it a second time if you have to. Yeah,
okay,
there.
so it's gonna be at the bottom here.
Okay.
I mean, this guy's Achan. This is the easy answer right here.
How is this guy not down to do a running back for receiver swap, knowing that this guy's got Kaka PP at wide receiver and an actual decent running back core?
This is the cute. This is a.
This is the guy
on Godwin and QJ and Pearsall, apparently.
This is the guy that declined frickin' Breece Hall for Olave with this team.
I guess so.
Wow. He said team that got Love is a huge Arizona Cardinals fan. Hinking winning the league last year is the only reason I'm not sure what to expect from the Lamb return. Yeah, again, knowing that you had such a stacked receiver core, I understand the upside. Hey, if these picks do end up being early to mid, I, potentially win the deal. And also, I already have enough receivers to the point where if I lose it, I'm fine. Achan team is a Dolphins diehard.
Yeah, so Breece is probably going to be your best bet then, because if he's a Dolphins diehard, he probably hates the Jets.
Or McCaffrey.
Yeah, I mean, you could go after Christian too. I would say generally teams that have Christian don't want to deal him most of the time, but going after Hall or McCaffrey makes the most sense to me.
What about Mitchell? He's a pipsqueak. Well, check MW Mitchell. He's a pipsqueak.
MW Mitchell, Jacobs makes sense. Yeah. You could go for a pure contending running back. Obviously, the ideal situation is to get a Hampton or is to get an Achan or get somebody like that. I'd be willing to overpay for Achan a little bit, to be honest with you, given the team that he has.
Like I would be willing to give Tedero McMillan.
That's exactly what I was going to suggest. I'd be willing to give him Tedero McMillan straight up for Achan if he wants to do that. Even if I had to throw in a 2, I would do it.
Yeah, easily I would be willing to do it with a 2 for sure.
Yeah, like give him your 2 and Tedero McMillan for Achan. See if he wants to do that. Or again, going after Breece Hall for Chris Olave straight.
And Kyle.
Or Garrett straight, I'd be fine with.
Even though you haven't been able to get a deal done with this guy, because you say, like, I have tried, but like nobody's willing to. If you have to, take a screenshot of his team and say, hey, I understand that you said no to this, but realistically, I need running back. You need receiver. This is the deal. Like, I don't understand why you're hesitant. I get it. You like this running back, but you don't have any receivers. Be real with this guy, especially if you're friends with him. Be like, King Khan, brother. We've been fucking slamming brews at this spot for the last 5 years. I know you. You know me. I can help you. You can help me.
I know you. You know you. And you know that I know that I know you. That's what you hit him with. Anyway,
sounds like a dodgeball line.
Yeah, good dodgeball. Is that the second dodgeball reference of this stream so far? This guy doesn't have any running backs. Again, you can just keep looking around and searching for RBs. That guy not going to give you a running back. You already said the Gibbs guy's not going to sell you. Price is not going to sell you. James Cook, he mentioned he might go after him. Again, James Cook definitely a good option to go after as well. Any other running back heavy teams? Like I said, this Rye Dogs guy, rolling the dice on Henderson makes sense with your team. Like I said, if you wanted to offer this guy, Chris Olave for Henderson plus, like you don't need Chris Olave realistically given your team. So you could sell high on Chris Olave, get Henderson, and I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if you gave him Chris Olave in an early projected 2 if he'd give you Henderson in a 1. To be honest with you, given how good Olave's season was last year, it wouldn't shock me if he did that. Yeah. And the fact that this guy can't compete right now, and maybe he's looking to pivot into a young receiver or something like that. Just spitballing some other deals. You mentioned Hampton guy's not going to sell you. Judkins, you could take the risk on him as well, potentially.
He'd give you his 1, but he already dealt it.
He did already deal it. Yeah. Again, this guy's not ready to compete right away. Maybe you offer him Garrett Wilson for Quinshon Judkins. He also has Javonte Williams. Maybe you could get both of those guys off of him. If you offered him Garrett, like Chris Olave and 2 2s, would he give you Javonte Williams and Quinshon Judkins or something like that? Then you're able to fill out your running back core, not really eat it too much at receiver and continue on your merry way. So again, just spitballing with some of these deals. Chase Brown is obviously the ultimate contending running back buy. I'd be okay going after him using Olave or Wilson as well. But yeah, I think we could probably move on to the next team here. And LarsonGotFanz, shout out. 4 top 6 picks. Another Thanos that we have in the chat here. So this is a super flex league. So weaker at quarterback than you'd want to be, but this is a wagon of a pick capital. Holy crap.
Oh God. What is that? 8 or 9 first?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Please tell me he has the
7.
pipsqueak and the fucking purgatory first too.
So he's got this guy's first. He's got this guy's first. He's got Bortles, Snoog, etc.
Wait, is that Snoog in this league?
I hope that's not our Snoog that we know. I mean, it's not a bad team, but yeah, this is a good situation, my man. This is a good situation that you're in because you have 4 top 6 picks as you list here, I would assume, and your own first could end up being, middle of the road as well because you don't have a ton of productive assets. This is a Danny Ladd special right here. You got a couple of really great Jaden Daniels, Genty, Jeremiah Love.
This reminds me of my Flock Me Silly team before because unfortunately I lost the Thanos tag on that team. I'm not sure if you noticed, Corey, but it was because I bought the pick or used my pick equity to go and buy hammers, which, by the way, I don't understand how that works. I was a Thanos before it. Both the deals that I made were even dead on fucking value.
Thanos teams, I believe, have to have a certain level of you need to be top 3 in everything, if I'm not mistaken. So if you're no longer top 3 in picks, that's why you're probably not a Thanos anymore.
But even still,
maybe that's not the answer because he's number 12 in receiver and he's still a Thanos. It might have nothing. I think picks is a big part of it though as well.
Oh, maybe top 3 in rebuilding, top 3 in contending,
and also has top 3 in picks or something.
Okay, that makes more sense then.
I don't know. I got to look up the exact definition for it. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Or sorry, I didn't fall to a strong contender. Sorry, I fell from Thanos to Juggernaut in that league. That's what happened. But I was looking at it. I'm like, fuck, what happened to my Thanos? But then I actually look at the team and it's like fucking Burrow, Purdy, Murray, Genty, Hampton, Tootin, Chase, Lamb, Tate, Devontae, DJ Moore, Loveland, and I still have my ones in the next 2 years.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Anyways, this team,
let's go.
You have a bunch of great assets, good rebuilding blocks, and you have all the picks. Very easy course of action here, my man. Would you trade Sadiq for another 27? I don't think so. You need a tight end long term. I'm fine holding Sadiq. Unless that pick's going to be another early to mid first. I wouldn't trade it to a contending team. So
we'll go sort by contending rankings and go to the worst team that
tight end
worst team that doesn't or that has their first, and if they need a tight end. So 12. Go down. No, Corey. Yeah, go down and see if anybody has their first still. So that guy has his first. Keep going down. Meme Machine, does he have his first?
Corey,
no. You're all over the place, brother.
No, he doesn't. I just looked.
Oh, okay. It's lagging on my end.
Okay. This guy. So it might be this guy because he has Kelsey as his only tight end and he has 2 ones. So
yeah, if Kelsey
this guy
dies,
has the worst teams in the league, and I'm sure he's offering you his own one. I'm assuming is what's happening.
This guy's gonna be fine. He just has AJ Barner to take over. Like he's chilling.
Yeah, AJ Barner sucks donkey ass. But yeah, I would say this might be the guy that's making this deal. If it is, you'll know more than better than we will. Maybe it's somebody else. I wouldn't trade Kenyon Sadiq for a late projected 26 first. But if a guy's going to offer you a first that you're like, that's very clearly going to be an early to mid first, then sure, by all means, sell off Kenyon Sadiq. Maybe Justin Jolie, Eli Raridan, Max Clare, any of the tight ends that you currently have, turn into your long-term tight end option, and you can continue to stack more firsts on top of the ones that you already have. But generally, I would actually be fine holding Sadiq because he's a 21-year-old tight end. You're in a situation where long-term, you're going to need a tight end anyways, and he's your best bet given your current core. So I would just be very comfortable going into this season, shedding production where necessary. Adam Randall pops up as the Ravens starter for a couple of games, sell him off. Emmett Johnson pops up as the Chiefs starter for a couple of games, sell him off. JJ McCarthy starts 4 games for the Vikings because Kyler Murray blows his hamstring, sell him off, and so on. I would just hold on to your building block assets, which are Jaden Daniels, Ashton Genty, Jeremiah Love, Jordan Tyson, Kenyon Sadiq, and maybe Ty Simpson as well, just given the window of your team. Like Simpson, by the time he's ready to start, might actually be good for your team. And even if you wanted to sell him when he's ready to start, which is probably what I'm going to do in most of the only league actually that I have Ty Simpson in, is just hold him until he becomes the starter and then sell him then.
We will keep it brief. Or brief. We will keep it brief. Sorry, I can't pronounce my F's and H's apparently, or TH's apparently, but
We'll keep it brief.
whatever we'll keep it brief. Whatever you've been doing, keep doing is the easiest way we can say it from a suggestion perspective. Obviously, is this a 2.0?
This is not a 2.0.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was
again.
literally just gonna say on the 2.0, like partially keep doing what you're doing if it was a 2.0. But
No,
like,
it's not a 2.0, so
very
it's pretty
easy.
straightforward. Just keep your young players. Hopefully, some of your young receivers can hit, and keep it rolling on your 2027s. Next up, Michael, thank you for being patient in the chat. We can't speak. Hampton over Najee is what he has listed as the team name. So it's probably from last year. Got bye weeks back-to-back years. I feel like I have all the good buy low guys, so I can still compete. Haven't made an off-season trade yet. Not really sure what to do besides ship off 2027 mid-season. So Hampton over Najee, this is his team. I mean, you look at the starting lineup, you're going to have Mahomes, Murray, Hampton, Achane, St. Brown, Lamb, A.J. Brown, and Adams, and then Pitts in your tight end spot. Little bit weaker in the final flex position / depth. But I think he's kind of recognized that based on some of the questions that he has here. I guess what he's asking is wait. He said wait until mid-season to ship his 27 first. Do you agree with that statement? Would you go into this season trying to already ship your 27 first? Maybe if you can secure, your 1 and 2 gets
this team
Kenneth
win.
Walker or something.
He went 24-4 last year. I'm wondering what the contention looks like.
If we sort by contending, he is in 4th.
Yeah,
So,
and the bars are relatively close. There's one very strong team, but did he say he won the championship last year?
he said he got a bye in back-to-back years. He did not mention if he won the championship. Maybe he came in 2nd or 3rd or something.
I know it's boring, but realistically, if you can if you can just hold until in season, let those guys produce. Achane and Hampton, hopefully Hampton's healthy for you this year. Hopefully Patrick Mahomes is ready to go for week 1, week 2, because by all accounts, it does sound like that's where his timeline's kind of leaning. You have a CD Lamb stay upright. Like the fact that you went 24-4 with all those variables working against you last year makes sense why you may have lost in the semifinal. Like,
yeah,
I
mean,
think
Brissett and those guys were definitely probably pretty integral to his team last year, who were
sure.
producing at the end of the season. And
It's
you
a good
have
team,
some
though.
depth, but in an ideal world, I would want another hammer running back. Like I'd want Kenneth Walker on this team. I'd want James Cook on this team. I'd want Breece Hall or Chase Brown on this team. So that would be, I would explore those those outcomes now. Like, can you get Chase Brown for your singular 2027 first? Because that's below market value of what I think Chase Brown is worth. Ergo, I would do it now. If you can't, exhaust those avenues for Breece Hall, for Chase Brown, for Kenneth Walker, for those type of guys. And then if you can't get it done, then you wait until in season. Maybe there's a buy low window on Breece Hall early in the year because the Jets look like shit. Maybe there's a buy window on Chase Brown early in the year because, like they do every year, the Bengals get out to a slow start or something like that. So I would say if the opportunity presents itself now to get another running back, do it. If it doesn't, wait until midseason. So that would be my advice.
Yeah, for sure.
He said he hasn't won yet, so he's been on the doorstep the last couple of years.
Also, I just realized how skewed Devi teams look like in the My Teams analyzer.
Yeah, they look pretty crazy because they don't recognize the Devi picks
Exactly.
that you have. So it looks like every competitive team is an absolute wagon.
Because shout out Ralph in here, but he was asking like Bucky for Breece type of swap, and I get this pick, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck? I have a purgatory team that I clicked into. I'm like, oh, it's because it's a fucking Devi league, and it shows me trading DeAndre Swift for 2/4 or whatever, and like me getting rinsed. Like,
if you go to my flock and right trades that I've done the last couple, because I traded a mod Hardy for.
You just got free shit.
I got free Mekhi Lemon and CJ Stroud, according to the analyzer, because I traded a mod Hardy for it.
So fucked.
And I got DeAndre Swift in a 4th for 2/4.
Yeah. Literally though. I feel good with Pitts and tight end. Yeah, I think you're chilling. I easily think you're
wide receiver core is definitely good enough.
That's the least.
Yeah, feel good with Pitts at tight end. I'd be fine with that as well. The only thing that you have to worry about right now is if Hampton or Achane missed any time, you'd be a little weak at running back, and that's why I would go. Let's see if we can find a specific running back that would maybe be available here.
It's better than my deal. Interesting.
Let
me know.
Breece Hall is on this guy's team, who's not really competitive right now. This is the guy, Mike. Go after this Breece Hall guy. Because not only does he have Breece Hall, he also has David Montgomery. So maybe you could sell him your 27, 1 and 2 for David Montgomery and Breece Hall, because this guy should be not looking to compete based on his current team situation. So that would make some sense. And then if I look at, I mean, this guy's got younger running backs, maybe not as much him. This guy just has Judkins. Maybe you could go after Judkins. This guy is Genty. He's probably competing or thinks he can compete. He's also a Raiders fan by the looks of it. That guy probably thinks he can compete. This guy just has Kenneth Walker, really. Maybe he thinks he can compete, but you could also inquire about Kenneth Walker on this team. But it looks like to me, Mike, that your best course of action is going to go after this Breece Hall guy, because his team is 11th in the analyzer and Breece Hall is his only good running back. So that would be, if you traded your 27, 1 and 2 for Breece Hall and David Montgomery, your team's ready to go pretty much at that point. So we could probably close this one out, fellas. I do think we are done on teams. Oh, Kyle does have one trade on the table from this existing team. He said could give his 27 first back for Saquon. Don't do it.
No.
Probably 3 to 6. No,
Hell
dude.
no.
No way. If his pick's going to be that high, you got to get more than Saquon back.
Let me see his team again real quick. A refresher. Same league, I'm assuming. Yes.
Let's find.
But I'm Nexus.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. No.
I want more than just Saquon Barkley from this guy for his own first back.
His first would need to be like at least 8 through 12 for me to even have a conversation.
Yeah, I'd be fine giving up his first if it was 8 through 12, but knowing that he's asking for his first back, I mean, that this guy thinks he can't compete and he's trying to sell off Saquon, and then Jordan Love will be next, and DeAndre Swift will be after that.
And he just overpaid all of his one in the Love package with if it's the same league.
No, that's a different guy that you're thinking of, I think, right?
I thought it was Kyle with the Thanos, no?
Oh, yes, it was Kyle. Sorry. Yeah, it was Kyle with Thanos. Sorry, I was thinking about Mike for a second.
You're good.
Yeah. I wouldn't do that personally, Kyle.
Me neither. No,
Also,
if that guy wants
a situation where he had like 8 ones or something like that?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, like I'm holding on to those first for dear life, man. I'm definitely not selling for a competitive running back anytime soon. If he wants his first back, Kyle, this is what you tell him. I want Jeremiah Love. You want your first back that bad? I want Jeremiah Love. So how do we get there? Basically, that's what I would tell him, because Jeremiah Love's the only asset on his team that is worth anything to you, because everybody else on his team is competitive. So I would just go to him and be like, if you want your first back that bad, you can get it, but I want either Carnell Tate or Jeremiah Love involved in the deal, because those are the only 2 assets that fit your build. So if he wants his first back that bad, great. He's got to give you Jeremiah Love in some kind of package. He's got to give you Carnell Tate in some kind of package, because they're the only assets that appeal to you. So
good luck, Kyle.
Anyways, we should be good. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Very long stream, but if you guys are in here and you got your questions answered or whatever, hit the like button. Those of you guys watching the after the fact, every team should be timestamped in a couple of minutes. I'll go through and hit those. Also, very last chance to join the Listener League. Me and Danny in like 5 minutes are going to draw names for the Listener League. So if you want to get in it, it is starred in the chat right here. Last chance to join the new Listener League. 5 entries for annual Mother Flockers. 4 entries for annual flockers, 2 entries for monthly mother flockers, 1 entry if you're a free entrant, or if you used a different code other than promo code FSE. We will be drawing that like right now. So go ahead and fill out the Google form that is linked in the description of this live stream and linked in the chat right now. Is the drawing live? No, because we don't want to show people's emails and stuff, but we'll send out emails and text messages, whatever mode of contact people left in the Google form for us to get the league filled. And hopefully we're going to be drafting early this week as well. So if you want to get in that Listener League, go ahead and check that out. And we will be drawing names for that very, very shortly. So keep an eye on whatever form of communication you gave us. But with that being said, peace out. We'll talk to you soon.